Welcome to Eagles Kickoff Live. I am Gail Saunders here with Evan Hollywood Hearn and Chris Malley to kick it off. Eagles Kickoff Live. We're normally doing this at 9:30 in the morning at the butt crack of dawn. But we got a primetime game, and it's a primetime opportunity for Carson Wentz, the Ginger Jesus, to show up, roll back the stone, show who he is, show that he's risen, and show the Eagles fan base that you can take control of this Eagles football team. Because at the end of the day, it starts with the quarterback, right, gentlemen? So I think if he can get on the same page with Doug Peterson and they can get the play calling back to where we'd like to see it. We talked about the tempo that we've been talking about over the last couple of weeks. Where's the tempo? Well, Doug Peterson's going to dumb it down for Carson Wentz, make him feel comfortable. All I want to see is a lot of Miles Sanders, a lot of bootleg, a lot of movement from the quarterback, and get Carson Wentz comfortable and back to doing what he likes to do best. Now, that's move the ball and score touchdowns. Guys, how are you feeling tonight?
Well, I mean, I'm feeling a little bit better that we're not doing this early in the morning. I got to get well rested for this game. We are at week 4 now. It is the end of the first quarter of the NFL regular season. I don't think we're exactly where we thought we'd be 4 weeks ago. The general consensus among Eagles fans right now tends to just be this.
I'm going in. I'm tired of fucking losing, dude.
I'm good, fellas.
I'm tired of being a bitch. I'm tired of being a sorry, sad-ass motherfucking organization. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. I feel like that's how a lot of the Eagles fan base is feeling. They're ready to jump in themselves. They're ready to even throw on the headset themselves and start play calling. I mean, dude, I'm so confused about the moves of this entire team this year so far. I mean, JP was questionable up until 2 days ago, and now all of a sudden he's on the IR. I don't even know what that's supposed to like. I don't understand why it happened that way. Why did they wait so late to throw him on the IR? I mean, that's going to leave the Aussie himself. He's going to be starting at left tackle, and honestly, hopefully, Jordan Mailata, the Aussie, is better at playing left tackle than our own Aussie, Willie, is at Eagles trivia. That's what I'm praying for. He's been killing you guys and Eagles fans in Eagles trivia. That Aussie knows his stuff, but
if you guys are trying to win some merch tonight, all you got to do is win some trivia. You Americans got to step up. These foreigners, man, they're taking over.
Down.
Eagle foreigners are taking over. You know who else is taking over?
Who that?
This guy, Laura Brunson, in the house.
What's
Hey, yo!
One of the best reporters on the Eagles, man. Welcome to the show, man.
Welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. You guys caught me mid jog, getting ready for this game, man. Dallas lost. I'm like, yo, let me go.
Are you going in?
2 miles real quick.
Are you going in the game? Are you going in the game? Is that why you're out there getting ready?
I'm trying. I wish I could, man. We need this one, man. How you
Doing good, man. We're just hoping for a big W. Not hoping. We are getting a dub.
Yeah.
I'm speaking into existence right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Totally.
I feel the same way, but it's like, who are we going to throw the ball to? Who are we going to throw the ball to?
I know that's just the thing that I think a lot of people are like. We want to be confident, we want to feel up for this game, but the holes in this team are glaring, and so to throw confidence behind any position group right now is tough.
Yeah, and I agree, and and I see Dak with all the weapons in the world and still can't get a win. We need this one, man. We need this one, man. I mean,
Isn't it wild how we're 1 win away tonight from being in top of the division? Is that not the craziest shit ever?
Right. That's what I'm saying. The division is so bad that we can just turn all the bad talk around with just this 1 win. And this is something that we need for the city, for the fans, for everybody. We just need this win. Everybody's down in the dumps. Everybody's blaming Carson. And you know how we are, man. This just turns this around. Like, I can't wait, man.
Yep.
I feel like this is the get right game. And Chris, do you feel like this is the get right game? Like,
absolutely the get right game.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. The big thing is like Doug. Like we're still all pissed off for him, like not going for it on 4th down, or at least letting Jake trot out there and make the kick. But like we just saw, if we win this game, we're in first place. So that would winning cures everything. Right now, Carson Wentz and the team has their backs against the walls. It's been a common theme. I don't like it being a common theme. But let's see if Carson can ball out with these practice squad guys. I mean, Hakeem Butler is signed straight off the street, tight end / wide receiver eligible in fantasy. We really.
What's your thoughts on him?
So Hakeem Butler, he was huge pickup for Arizona, but they picked up Andy Isabella and they had Christian Kirk, and he kind of just like felt it was just casually on the roster with the cut days. I mean, he's gonna be interesting. That's the thing though, like with Eagles Twitter, because you want to talk up these guys and like give them a little bit of confidence. Like that's how we felt last year. Like Greg Ward, like he's not a household name, but the dude's gonna make plays. But let's be honest, like we're down our top 5 receivers. Marquise Goodwin opted out. Deshaun Jackson's out. Alshon's out, Rager's out, JJ Arthega, I can't hold my own umbrella, Whiteside is out. I mean, and then Goddard's out. So it's going to be a big Ertz game, hopefully a Miles Sanders game. And the injuries are crazy. But the whole thing is if Carson Wentz can just take what's in front of him, what he hasn't been doing so far this year, it could be a good game. Just get in the rhythm. Make sure that Miles Sanders has at least 20 carries. I'm hoping Miles has at least 20 carries, and we'll see what happens. It's a huge game, fellas. Huge game.
Jordan
I agree.
Says next man up. How you feeling about this guy, Brunson? I mean,
I'm terrified. I'm terrified, but at the same time, I'm optimistic. I think that he needs a full game. I think that with the full game, with him knowing that he's the guy, I think we'll see the best. I think we'll see the best from him, and we got to keep in mind that they don't have the luxury of just throwing Bosa on him to expose him. So I think if he gets his feet wet, a few reps, I think we'll see the best out of him. That's just me being an optimistic Eagles fan. Yeah, and to touch on the Doug Peterson thing, I think that Doug looks a genius right now. Looking at how the records look now, by just saving the tie and taking the heat for that week. If he gets this win, I think he'll look a genius. But
you think about Casey Hill taking advantage of Mailata early in camp. You think about Josh Sweat getting his. You just hope that progression just kicks in. And Mailata was talking to Spadero about his progression.
If Stout put on the film and on one side there was Jordan Mailata, from 3 training camps ago, and on the right side of the screen there was Jordan Mailata from this training camp, split screen, how much different would you look?
You would see the difference, mate. You can tell I was a rugby player my rookie year.
In what way? So it was like footwork. It was like you were grabbing
everything.
People. Yeah,
everything was bad. Yeah. Everything, splits, stance, even the punch was wrong. Like I was just doing everything wrong. Rookie year.
Do you feel that you're good now, technically?
Yeah, I think now I'm more technically sound than I've ever been. But I know there's more room for improvement, and I can get better. So.
Are you excited about the opportunity ahead?
Hell yeah. Very excited.
He said he hit him with a hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited for him. I'm really not that worried because with Bosa not being playing, I'm actually excited to see Jordan Mailata play.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him play as well. I agree with that. I just, we just seen so much bad out of him. I'm really worried about the linebackers because this is a team. From what I've seen, them guys playing Mullins, those guys aren't really taking a lot of deep passes. They are trying to destroy us in the middle of the field. And they have the next tight end. Exactly. They have like a next tight end up philosophy. It don't matter who the tight end is in that system, he's going to get the ball. And I'm just worried for our linebackers, man, how we're going to match up against Kittle returning. But, other than that, I'm all in. I'm all in tonight, man. I don't think I'm going to sleep.
Dude.
I don't think I'm going to sleep.
I go to bed till 5:30 this morning. That's every game day I'm up. Like I just can't go to sleep. But I have been thinking about that Shanahan offense. I know they run a lot of 2 tight end sets, 21 personnel. They do a little trickery, a lot of eye candy. They got that little flavor from the Rams. The Eagles defense just has to be disciplined. Don't take the bait. I mean, you have guys in there that Deebo Samuel's back. Like he's a playmaker that can hit you with a jet sweep. Take a screen on the inside. Just he's a playmaker, and then you got Kittle's back. So they like to do a lot of interesting things. So we got to be sound against the run, for sure.
I agree, man. I agree. I think it does boil down to gap responsibility. The linebackers just got to shoot the gaps. If they just stay in the gaps they're supposed to stay in, I think we can kind of slow down the run. But like you said, a lot of eye candy, a lot of misdirection. We just got to be disciplined, man. And hopefully Carson can have a multiple touchdown passing game and we can pull this out.
Yeah. Welcome into the show, Soko. First of all, hats off to Soko. I mean, this dude just tested positive for COVID, man, and he's here in the stream right now. Like, this is like, how you feeling, man?
I'm not too bad, man. It's like a bad head cold. It's really all it is. You just kind of get like overly tired at times.
Are you quarantined from the rest of the fam?
Yeah, I'm locked up in our room, just kind of holding it down.
They just like sliding food underneath the table, under the door.
Yeah, either that or she'll like set it on the outside of the door.
How long have you been in solitary? Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Chris.
Like 5 days, dude.
Man,
Nice.
it's crazy, man. I saw your post late last night. I was just like, dude, what did you just say? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just hoping you take care of yourself, get some rest, man. Like, I see you ready to go. You got your Slay jersey on. Are you ready to rock? How are you feeling about the game?
I'm still iffy based off of last week. I think the coaching was a little spotty last week. Jake even came out after the game and said, like, come on, man. Like, I hit from 64 on that side of the field. Like, go ahead and let me at least boot it out. But I think with, like, the Niners injuries, like, you guys were already touching on, like, Bosa and stuff, but they're out D Ford as well. And then Quan Williams is questionable. Kilo Witherspoon is out. So you got their secondary beat up, too. Like, I think it's ultimately going to come down to how the receivers play it because their linebackers are healthy. So I expect a very average at best game from Ertz. I think it really comes down to if our receivers can create the separation and Doug will actually commit to the run or not.
And we need to commit to that run, man. Like that's something that this entire season, and honestly going back previous years, that has been a kind of thing that has just existed in this offense where the run game, we start to get it going and we start to get some momentum with it. And then all of a sudden we just veer away from it. Like
that saw it last week.
Yeah, and I know I've seen it last week. I've seen it the week before. I've seen that's what I'm saying. I've seen it for years now. And so that is something in Doug's whole repertoire that he needs to change. That's something that I want to see moving forward, that he's ready to commit to the run.
I mean, he's got to commit to the boobies. I mean, you just got to fire up the boobies, let him run, let him do his thing. Because I think at the end of the day, it's like, you got this guy, utilize his skill set.
Those are prime boobies, man.
I agree. Those are prime boobies, and those prime boobies help set up play action. So
exactly.
Doug gotta, he gotta get into like a really deep coaching bag this week. I think he has to understand that this is, especially with the Cowboys doing what they just did, this is a must-win game. But I hope you guys do this post game thing. I'll probably join again. I'm gonna get back to this run. I got my little brother jogging in place right here waiting for me, trying to stay warm. So
absolutely, man. Thank you for hopping on.
Hey, no problem, man. No problem, man. Happy birthday too, bro. I know I told you that earlier. I want to tell you.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, man. All right, guys. Have a good one.
Take care,
bro. Look at that, man. Stopping by on a job. This is how organic Eagles Kickoff Live. It's like Eagle fans is checking in before the game, getting hyped for the game. We have Mike K from NJ.com checking in at 5:20, just giving his insight. It's always great to have someone inside the locker room, just dropping nuggets, and because at the end of the day, Eagle fans just want to know what's going on.
How about that for a nugget? I mean, we talk about our woes, but the Cowboys giving up 43 points per game the last 3 weeks. That defense is trash, man. We're worried about our secondary. They're getting destroyed, man. And that's another one that, like, they're a team that actually does go after the linebacker, and they get no luck, man. They can't, with their linebacker staying healthy, they just can't make it work.
Yeah. Welcome to the show, Kelly. Kelly.
Sup, guys?
Hey.
How you feeling?
Okay.
I'm putting on my brave face.
Yes. Yeah, we need it. We need it.
We're starting this game 0-0, so let's have a shot at it,
Hey, Kelly, if you spin your phone sideways, we'll get the lamp there.
I'm upside down now. Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's I've been seeing a lot of people's posts on the timeline. It's kind of a weird state of fandom because you were talking about last week being the get right game. Now you have the 49ers this week, and you're like, they've dealt with a lot of injuries. They got some moving parts, some guys coming back, and you're like, this is the game that some people are like, the Eagles don't win this type of game. This is the one they lose. And then this is the type of game they usually win. You know, like you talk about the Green Bay last year, everyone thought they were going to
That
lose
was
that game.
2018. Packers 2018.
Was that
And
2000?
then the Buffalo Bills game last year.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what the hell are we winning these games for?
Yeah.
But when their back's against the wall,
They always play up.
They show up.
Yep, they always play up whenever their backs are against the wall. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet this year though. That's the issue. Like in previous years, that's the case. This year so far, I haven't seen that spark for more than like a drive at a time. There's been like anytime we get anything going, it just evaporates within the next drive. So we need to be able to, for one game, be able to keep the momentum. I want to like, even if I'm being completely honest, the way that this line is swinging, it's not looking pretty, man. It keeps on swinging in the Niners direction.
I swear, every week we've had a new line. Is that like what we're going with? This trend of different O linemen? They're probably going to show that stupid Sunday night lineup every single week. A new O lineman comes in. We're going to be like, oh yeah, just rubbing our pain.
No.
Now you know who's been in a little bit of pain like recently? It's Carson Wentz, our Lord and Savior. You know, we look to Carson for direction and guidance. We're just hoping that he comes to bring his A game. On a scale of 1 to 10, where do we think Carson is this week?
Anyone want to go first?
I'll go first. I think he's a 7. I think we see like glimpses of the old Carson, kind of like what we saw at the end of the Bengals game last week. I think he's going to carry some momentum into this week. I think you'll see the flashes, but I also think you're going to see some ungodly bad turnovers this week.
You're expecting more turnovers.
I think he throws at least one pick and probably a fumble, if I had to guess.
Well, you know, we're sponsored. The Eagles are sponsored now, again, by the Pepperidge Farm. Because now we are tied with 8 turnovers.
That box just keeps getting bigger, man.
A couple weeks ago, it was 4 turnovers. Now it's about 8 turnovers, and it's a problem. So I feel like it's a problem. Get rid of that sponsorship, and we need to get back to protecting the football. And again, we talked about running the ball, keeping it simple. The screen game. You guys here on the show and in the chat, you guys like hate the screen game right now? It looks awful.
It's really bad. Trey Thomas actually posted a video of the screen game the other day and was just showing like the comparison from like Cincinnati's screen game to Joe Mixon and Giovanni Bernard compared to ours. It's just the linebackers and safeties and corners. It's like, I don't know if like our calls haven't changed in like 2 years, or if like we just have like a significant tell with the alignment of the wide receivers, but like everything gets blown up. Like I feel, and the big thing is Carson Wentz has been throwing terrible passes to Deshaun Jackson. Baldinger and all the guys have been doing breakdowns for us. Fran Dunphy, he does great work. Like Carson's been throwing behind Miles Sanders at his feet. He's been throwing behind Deshaun Jackson or at his feet.
Overthrowing people.
Yeah, exactly. And like there's yards to be had. That's why I'm really interested to see like timing has already been an issue for Carson. And now you're throwing in like 4 or 5 new receiver targets. So like, I don't know. Carson plays really well when the expectations are low. So we'll see what happens because Adrian Killins, the speedster. He's going to be getting some tick tonight. And you're going to have Travis Fulgham. You're going to have Deontay Burnett. You're going to have Hakeem Butler. So with the screen game, I want to see people getting bobbed. Just get the ball outside away from the line and give someone a chance to make the play outside.
Yeah,
but like, do we really trust the linemen to like get out and block for them? Because like, I don't feel like the athleticism is there this year. Like, I don't feel like Lane's moving as well. I don't feel like Kelsey's moving as well. Obviously, Brooks is out. Like, I just feel like the athleticism isn't there. Like, we're not.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the screen game, honestly, is a 2-part problem. A lot of it has to do with the fact that our offensive line is Swiss cheese this year, and they're able to penetrate really quickly. And the other half of it is the fact that Carson Wentz can't make simple throws. I mean, Jimmy Kempski called them layups, and like, you know, none of us played in the NFL. So like, yeah, none of us can say anything's a layup for us. But let's be real. If you're $100 million man, and you are a professional second pick overall, you should be able to make a 5-yard dump pass, man. And you should be able to hit a player in stride. I don't really think that's asking for too much. So I think the mixture between the line being penetrated the way that it is and Carson not hitting his receivers in stride or at all is the reason that the screen game's just not working this year.
You know what is a layup when talking about the Eagles is Mike K. I mean, talking about the Eagles,
Mike, hey guys, how's it going?
What's up, Mike?
Could be a layup for Mike. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm well. I don't play quarterback in the NFL. I'm actually not even in San Francisco because it's on the travel ban list for New Jersey, but I am in my office/kids room. So, I mean, I hope you guys like the aesthetics, but
your kids were very kind to open that room up to you.
Yeah. I think I got nothing. Sorry. I've been apple picking all day. So my brain's kind of
nice.
Everywhere.
And that's another question I wanted to get around the room. Like, how do you guys spend your Sundays when the Eagles are playing at night? Do you guys end up watching the game? Like, what's going on?
Typically I'm traveling, but we had a family reunion. We hadn't seen my wife's family in a really long time, so we got to kind of see a bunch of new kids, which was cool. My son's like 21 months old, so he's still kind of getting used to all the family. He was picking apples from trees and running over pumpkins. And, Kelly and I have known each other for a really long time. She's probably seen him basically grow up via Twitter. So it's been cool. It was cool. We got some really good pictures, which I'll probably share later,
nice.
For some of the crazies. But
I hope the vibes stay up here then, man. Sounds like you're having a good day. I hope the vibes stay up here.
No,
Mike,
vibes for sure.
Mike,
I was going to say, sorry, I didn't want to cut you off. But,
no, I said Mike. So, how are you feeling about the Eagles' chances versus the 49ers tonight?
I think this is actually going to be a pretty close game. I think, Chris brought up a great point about Adrian Killins. I think what's interesting about him from an X factor standpoint is you're looking at a guy who helps them with their numbers at wide receiver and running back. He's also a guy that nobody has tape on. They used him almost exclusively at wide receiver for like the first 2 weeks of training camp. So he's going to probably be used in the slot. I thought Travis Fulgham had a pretty good camp. I think this all really comes down to the wide receivers. Look, Carson Wentz has been here before, but Carson Wentz also didn't struggle to connect with his new weapons the way he did, the way he has the last couple of weeks. I think you're going to see a lot of Greg Ward in this. Don't be surprised if Richard Rodgers is actually a pretty consistent target as well. So I think the offense is being kind of overlooked because, as you guys said earlier, Carson plays very well when he has kind of his back against the wall. And your back isn't any more against the wall than when the division is right within your grasp. All three other division teams lose. I mean, it doesn't even matter if the Giants lose today. If the Eagles win, they're in the driver's seat of the division. You've got 2 back-to-back AFC North matchups. Listen, Carson plays well in prime time. This could be a Carolina Panthers game. You know what I mean? Like, you remember that game. That's when you thought that Carson Wentz was a legit MVP candidate in 2017. That was the game. And I don't know an Eagles fan who thought, you know what, coming into this one, if he does what I think he's going to do in this game, then then it's legit. The 2017 season is legit. And I think, I'm not like incredibly optimistic. I think he's been horrible, frankly.
That's a fair way of putting it.
No, his mechanics are off. He's missing wide open guys. Deshaun Jackson, if you're in the stadium, like I wish you guys could be in the stadium to see how wide open Deshaun Jackson is live. Like, sure, you can look at tape and you can kind of try to figure out where his eyes are, but he is like Deshaun's getting open very regularly. I know a lot of people are criticizing the Deshaun Jackson move and his injury and everything, but guys are getting open. John Hightower did a lot of really nice things last week. And I think Greg Ward's extremely smart. I don't think he's super athletic. I don't think he's a guy that's a terrific route runner, but he knows where he is on the field. And I think Carson is becoming more and more aware of where he is at this point. Sorry, that was the hit.
No, you can
work from the gun on 3rd and 8. Far side of the field, wide open, touchdown. It's Ward, and he will waltz into the end zone.
Here's that play. Finding him open.
I think Greg Cosell did a really good breakdown of this, mentioning how he saw it as like a pre-snap look. Look, I brought this up on our podcast, the No Huddle Show. Look, Carson's doing some good things. Like, you know when you have like a the SAT, right? And you do really well in the math section, but you bomb like everything else. That's basically what Carson Wentz is right now. Like he's doing some things that are relatively good. I thought if you watched last week, had some really good decision making as far as when he, got out of a pressure situation, kept his eyes down the field, which is very important. He didn't lock on, but he was able to get the ball away. He threw the ball away, or if you look at the touchdown scores where he ran for a touchdown, he bought time with his eyes.
Yep.
And literally waited for an opening to run for a touchdown. So I think he is doing some things well, and those are encouraging. But overall, you need a much better Carson Wentz to win this game.
Yeah, and we talked to you. You were on the Eagles Kickoff Live prior to the first game of the season, and we talked about Jalen Hurts, and we didn't end up seeing him in that game, but it seems like he's been being worked in more and more each game since then. Do you think that progression continues? Do you think
Absolutely.
We see even more of Jalen Hurts today?
Yeah, I asked you, Staley, about what he does in how much involvement he has in play design for Jalen the other day, and he said that everybody's involved. I think a pass is coming today. I think now you've forced everybody
pass to or from Jalen.
Maybe both, but I think he's going to throw the football today.
Okay.
I think that's legitimately what you have to do. This offense needs some sort of electricity. If they win this game off a Jalen Hurts touchdown, yikes.
Yeah.
But I think if you're in the second quarter and you're feeling kind of frisky, we saw the Cowboys in connect on 3 straight 2-point conversions, and they got the last one. They ran a trick play. Like, I don't see why you wouldn't do that. I also think when you're in the red zone, you don't have to take Carson out. I think also having Carson on the outside almost immediately sends off a red flag where it's like, okay, they're going to target him because he's probably not the guy that they want to target.
Right.
He's the athlete. So, I do think that you will see more Jalen Hurts, and frankly, they need to. It's not even about being a second-round pick. It's about having somebody on offense who can make plays, which they solely lack. And I think I did just in my 5 predictions, I have him throwing like a 15-yard touchdown to Richard Rodgers in the second quarter. But
nice.
I mean, look, I think, guys, you're on. I was listening as I came on. You guys are on the right point. You need to be creative. You need to be a Doug Peterson offense, or what is perceived as a Doug Peterson offense, because frankly, that's not what they are right now. You look at Kevin Stefanski and what Kyle Shanahan are doing. Everybody said that Doug's like one of the gutsiest head coaches in the league. Right now, he's probably not even in the top 15 this season, but you really can't be given the way the offense has failed on first down. And frankly, that's what you've got to watch out for this week.
Yeah,
you made a good point earlier because you said that they don't really have a lot of tape on this team. Well, we have no clue what our offense is going to look like. Their defense probably has no idea what we're going to do, so they have to get creative at some point, cause some confusion for that defense so that we can put some points up. I mean, that's the only way I can see this Eagles team building some confidence to pull out a win on prime time. So
yeah, they got
very good point.
They got to get going early too, because all confidence is going to be lost if they end up going down, 1-2 touchdowns right away. That's going to be a tough hole to climb out of.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Nick Mullins, you definitely do not want to send a blitz on. I'll just put it that way. If you've been watching, he's perfectly fine handling that. He's also a guy who plays like he is a backup. He knows he's a backup. There's no pressure on him whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
I do think this pass rush is better under Matt Burke. What did I tell you guys about Josh Sweat in week 1? What did I say?
It's Josh Sweat season,
he's
man.
Good.
It's Josh Sweat season.
And I think he's pushing Derek Barnett. And if they can get production out of those two guys, that's a very big deal. There needs to be a turnover. Look, they haven't forced a turnover all year. They are one of 3 teams heading into this week without an interception. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming, BS. It's coming.
I like it.
It's coming. Actually, I think it's going to be Craybon, but I
the
think
outside
whoever it ends up being, we need that change of momentum desperately, man.
Darius Slay is maybe my favorite player to interview in these Zoom calls. He is so funny. He's such a lively guy. He's, I saw a couple people tweeting that this team isn't very likable, but I got to tell you, Darius Slay is probably one of the more likable guys I've ever interviewed. in my career.
It usually
So
bothers me that they're like smiling after a loss, but somehow Darius Slay smiling after these terrible losses. It's like he's been here before with the Lions, so he's just like, yeah, I just got to deal with this shit.
listen. Based on what I've heard about Matt Patricia and that Lions team, he's thrilled to be here. He doesn't care about the wins as much as how terrible that organization is. But Jim Caldwell shouldn't have been fired. Anyway.
Now, Mike, about the vibe of the locker
quick
room.
career.
Like one thing about the vibe of the locker room, you know, you're. I know you have ears in there, and what is the overall feeling that you're getting about what the locker room vibe is?
So it's interesting, right? Because we're not actually in there, so we can't. We've got to just go by what we hear. But as of right now, the guys seem to still be like together on this one. They do have a lot of captains, which is bizarre to me. And I think
captains and no leader.
I just saw Josh Allen throw that ball, and I have no idea how that worked.
Josh Allen throws the ball like he's trying to punish the wind for
decision,
existing.
and it worked.
Anyway,
it's amazing.
But what I'll say is, I think they're kind of in this spot where it's everybody against us early. And in my experience, I've covered some really bad Jaguars teams. That's not always the best mode. They are together. Doug Peterson hasn't lost the locker room. But I will tell you, I've never covered a team that's been winless through the first quarter of a season. Even two really bad Jaguars teams had one win through 4 games. When you see a bad team, you know it. And right now, they're a bad team. They are
also a bad team in a bad division.
Correct.
We are one win away from number 1.
I don't know if you remember the AFC South a couple of years ago when they were bad too.
We played some really bad teams and lost.
Yeah. No, I'm not. I was saying that tongue in cheek. I mean, we are a bad football team.
Listen, look,
the 49ers have only beat the Jets and the Giants.
That's true.
So how do we know they're good?
Fair.
So if you look at all 4 teams' schedules over the next couple of weeks or the next quarter of the season, the Eagles obviously have the toughest. They've got those back-to-back AFC North matchups, and then they have the Giants, and then they have the Cowboys. Then on top of that, they have oh wow, my ADD just acted up. Sorry. Then you look at the Giants. The Giants actually play nothing but division teams in the second quarter of the season. The Cowboys, I believe, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. They definitely play all 3 division teams, and they have the Cardinals, and they have the Cardinals somewhere in there. And then Washington has the Rams, and then 2 matchups against the Giants and the Redskins. So listen, this division's just going to beat the shit out of each other. That's basically what they're going to do. Yeah. Pardon my language.
You're fine
here. Yeah, well, you know, there's a lady present. I try to be as polite as possible.
Am I a lady? I don't know.
But I think when you look at this division, it's really going to come down to who can win 4 games in the division and then win 2 games outside of it. That's really what it is. The Cowboys already have that. Cowboys already have that win outside of the division against the Falcons.
Which is completely bogus. Like the Falcons completely messed that one up.
I tweeted this earlier. It's like everybody's terrible on special teams when they play the Cowboys. It's not like their special teams coach is brilliant. Like
they got lucky. Is what the Atlanta had every chance to win that game.
Well, did you see Cleveland's kick returner let the ball roll into the end zone? If anybody is fast on the head, if Tavon Austin's still on the Cowboys, that's a touchdown for the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
So look, it's wide open. I think the Eagles can beat the Steelers. I do. I think the Ravens are going to be an extremely tough matchup. Last year in training camp, they absolutely ran the floor with this team because they can't cover tight ends.
Yeah.
So, you know, keep some optimism. I mean, if they lose this game tonight, I don't really know what to say. I mean, heads are going to have to roll.
Now, Mike,
they're 2 losses away from having to start trading off assets. Right?
Do you think that comes first? Do you think there's some firings that happen some point down the line? Yeah.
I mean, I think I just saw a report just now that they're. I think it was from Inside the Birds that Mills is going to play corner, which everybody on the beat basically expected. It didn't make sense to not do that. But having Marcus Epps start a free safety is very interesting. It's showing that like cascading, situation where you want to see what you got going. They have to know what they're going to have next year. Frankly.
Who do you think is feeling the most heat right now? Let's say Doug, Jim Schwartz, Carson. Who's feeling the most?
Jim
heat?
Schwartz, not even close. There's no way they fire Doug
They're
Peterson.
going to scapegoat Schwartz regardless of if it's
Right.
his fault.
Look,
how it goes.
I think with Schwartz, you have to look at two things, okay? You've got to look at the front office drafting guys that don't fit his system, which is abundantly clear, and I've said it for 3 years with Rasul Douglas, who's playing out of his mind in Carolina.
On D-Hop today. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, look.
Jeremy got a question below for you.
Yeah, sure. What is it going to take to get an OC this season? This season, frankly, to be... Look, I don't want to say Doug Peterson will get fired if they go 4-11-1 or whatever it is. But sorry, I'm terrible at math. I was the opposite of my SAT hypothetical. But frankly, I just don't know how you have all the principal, pillars return with the way the season's going. I think Jim Schwartz would be a scapegoat. I think people are very, very low on him. But I also think if you look at the guys that have been drafted for his system, they really haven't done him a lot of favors. That said, Nathan Gary, Davion Taylor, and Sean Bradley are all fits for a stereotypical Jim Schwartz defense. That's what he likes. They draft up based on traits of what a guy likes. Darius Slay has switched stuff up. The reason why they haven't had a lot of interceptions, Slay even told me, was, they're playing a lot more man than zone. He likes smaller corners. Avonte Maddox is a guy who fits what he wants to do on the outside. It's why they like Cravon potentially outside too. I remember when Cravon got here and everybody was making fun of him. I've covered that kid since he was at FAU. He is exactly what Jim Schwartz wants as a nickel corner, 100%, the pure definition, even more so than Nicole Roby-Coleman. Safety, I think Jalen Mills is playing better than a lot of people think. Rodney McLeod's the one who I'm kind of about. Oh, okay. Hey, why do you think you're not hiring an OC to help Doug? That's why. Doug wants to call plays.
Do you think he's an egomaniac? Is that his problem?
I don't know if it's an egomaniac thing. It's what he enjoys doing.
You can do that and call plays, though. Have a guy.
Agree. Well, I think where he differs, right, is he is so willing to shape and do stuff behind the scenes with multiple people. But then when it comes to making the calls himself, he wants to do that. Now, most CEO coaches, a Doug Marrone, a Tom Coughlin, are not consistently successful. They're just not. It's just not a thing. Typically, you want a guy who's going to be an alpha with the play calling, either on defense or offense. And I think that's where he comes from. He's also a quarterback. He also never made it really as a quarterback in the NFL. Maybe that plays into it. But I think all things considered, it's not working. It's just not. But also, who do you give the baton to? Rich Scangarello got fired after 1 year because he was too light on, or he was considered too. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know if I would say soft. He lacked any creative effort, is what I would say, or at least from the outside, or maybe that's what Fangio thought. I think then when you look at a guy like Press Taylor, why would he sell me on why he would be ready? You know what I mean? So it's yeah. Well, and that's the thing, right? So
he found the Philly special, so obviously.
Well, that's good for him. But
but people will talk about it.
Look, I think Frank Reich was a huge. I think Frank Reich was a huge loss for this team. I understand why people like Flip a lot, but frankly, Reich was one of the pillars of this Super Bowl run, and I think they've missed him. I think you look at what he's done in Indy. I also think he's a very good collaborator. They run a similar style setup where the defensive coordinator is the head coach of the defense, and that dude is balling. They've got a great defense right now. They're number one in the league coming into this week. Look, if Jeffrey Lurie gets impatient and wants a better play caller, I don't know who you're going to find. I like Eric Bieniemy, but I think he's going to have his choice of jobs, and I honestly don't know if this job is as appealing as fans think it is.
No, I agree entirely.
Especially if Howie's here. So
Yeah.
If we could circle back to the linebackers real quick too, like I just want to know, as a guy that was there during training camp, you guys were talking about Davian Taylor's progression, Sean Bradley especially. I remember talking about how he was showing out, and like why can't these guys find more time on the field? Is what I'm curious about with how bad Nate Gary and all these linebackers are playing. Why can't we see these guys? Are they too green? Is that simply what it is?
Davian's greener than grass. Davian is like the Jordan Mailata of like the defense. Like he's not ready.
Speaking of Mailata, he's playing today.
Yeah, he is. We can talk about that in a second. But Sean Bradley impressed me a lot during camp, and they really, really like him. I'm not that's the one where I'm not really sure what is going on.
Back. Right.
Because he's very smart, he's very athletic, very, very outgoing, and that's what they need. Like I mean, look, Nate Gary.
Does Bradley give off more locker room leader vibes than Gary?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Then I
He's
don't
like
understand.
A rookie, so
I understand that, but like I feel like this team is desperately dying for a leader, and like I'm not expecting Sean Bradley to come in here and be that guy, but I'm saying we need a voice in this locker room that people can look to. You know what? We need the juice, man. We got no juice.
We lost Jenkins, and I feel like the heart and soul of the defense was his leadership.
Yeah,
in the middle at least. So then you have nobody to replace that. Like the closest thing you have is probably Rodney McLeod, and he's not playing at a high level. So
yeah, and I don't even know if Mike, you might be able to shed some light on this. I don't know how much of a locker room leader Rodney McLeod is. I know he's a good player, but is he vocal in the locker room? Is he someone that like lights a fire under someone's ass? Like, is he that type of player?
I think he and Jalen Mills kind of split that sort of thing. I wouldn't say that Malcolm Jenkins necessarily was a leader of the entire defense either. I mean, he held that secondary in high control. He probably led more to the back end, or if anything, because I think you look at Brandon Graham, and Brandon Graham's really the emotional leader of this defense.
Yeah,
similar to Kelsey, he's a guy that everybody kind of draws into. But I would say Rodney McLeod's a guy who's extremely well respected, but to compare him to Malcolm is just not fair. I think Jalen Mills is very much respected in that locker room as a person too. He's very vocal. But that said, does it mean anything if you're a guy who's switching positions after 4 years and what have you? Listen, I like Avonte Maddox a lot. I think Avonte Maddox could eventually be that guy. But right now, moving Jalen Mills to cornerback is very, very interesting because you've got an opening here now where if you don't feel comfortable, or if you feel more comfortable with Mills outside, what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Yeah.
You're going to let the young kids play? You're going to move Roddy to strong safety? Yikes. And then move Maddox to free safety?
That's way too much motion right now for a defense that's already struggling as is.
Yeah, for sure.
Some of these matchups for tonight. Carson Wentz versus Carson Wentz.
That's a key matchup.
Back.
NRC. Mohamed Sanu.
Honestly, didn't know he was on the 49ers.
He's locked.
Ayuk.
Oh God.
Oh.
That one horrifies me.
I like this one.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
We need Ertz to get some yards after the catch. I mean, not having
Not
Dallas.
going to happen. Not tonight.
I know.
You're going to bracket him, so it's.
Let's be honest. Dallas Goedert is the tight end that gets yards after the catch. Ertz is not that guy. So
let me talk about that because I find that very interesting, and I'm constantly touching my beard because it helps me think.
His legs are made of jello, aren't they? Is that what's going on?
No, the reason why Zach, I'm not trying to make excuses, but the reason why Zach never gets yards after the catch is he's bracketed basically all the time. Like Dallas Goedert's getting one-on-one coverage.
Yeah,
I think when we compare Dallas Goedert and Zach Ertz, it's very hard because Dallas is always pretty much seeing single coverage. And when he's getting double covered, we saw in that Giants game, he wasn't really doing very much. Right. So I think a lot of people want to move on from Zach Ertz.
But they're both on our offense. The point is, when you don't have the dual threat.
Yes, that I agree with. Yeah,
it hurts not having him out there. If you're not going to have like any wide receivers, at least we had our two tight ends, and Now we don't even have one of them, so it just hurts.
It's rough. Jalen hurts for sure.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. You guys brought up Mailata. Frankly, I thought that project was done. He was terrible during training camp. Like one of the worst training camps I've ever seen.
That bad, huh?
Look, but that said, I thought against Washington, he played very well in those 18 snaps. I'm not trying to be too optimistic here. JP has been terrible. I don't expect a long leash for Mailata. If he struggles, I would not be surprised if Jack Driscoll moves out there, what have you. You guys brought up the screen game. There's a couple of things. One, teams are queuing in on what they do. They're not really doing anything interesting. Yeah, Chris brought up that point earlier. I wanted to bring that up. Second off, you brought up the offensive line being Swiss cheese. They're not very athletic, like you guys said. Here's why. Matt Pryor is not athletic enough to play tackle. It's the reason why he did not play right tackle in week 1. It's the reason why he's not playing left tackle now. He runs like a 5'6". That is not a Jeff Stoutland offensive lineman. It's a very weird fit. Again, you talked about drafting for fit. Nate Herbig looks like he's a refrigerator surrounded by bouncers at a college bar. He is not your prototypical left guard. Their guard, look, whenever Stoutland's been successful, he's had guards that could, pull. Like these guys aren't like your typical like athletic play in space guards. This isn't Evan Mathis. This isn't Todd Harriman's. This isn't,
Brandon Brooks.
Yeah, Brandon Brooks. Like these aren't those guys. So when you don't have your guards to pull, and Jason Kelsey's your only athletic interior guy, and then you've got a hobble Jason Peters, and Lane Johnson's coming off of injury. Look, the athleticism goes down hardcore. I don't really understand why the team hasn't really brought this up and made this excuse, because it's actually a great excuse. These guys are playing lethargic offensive line play, and cool, you can pass block, but you have to be able to run block too. And as much as Doug Peterson wants to talk about Miles Sanders' glute injury, you had an incredible matchup of Miles Sanders against the Bengals. They would have won that game outright in like a running away if they did not get away from the pass or getting away from the run. Sorry. In the first half, he was averaging 8 yards a carry, finished with 5.3 yards per carry. Like,
why do we go away from it?
My question is it believable that he really got fatigued?
Yeah, because he brought it up after the Rams game that he was fatigued, and I'm wondering if they just circled back to that. But I mean, look, a glute injury is not fun. You got to protect your tushy. So, yeah. I mean, it's one of those things. Like, you got to make sure that your butt's doing well, I guess. I guess there won't be any like pats after like a good run this week, is my guess.
Yeah, take it easy on him. We're going Charmin Ultra Soft on him.
Just give him a nice on the shoulder pat. You're good, buddy. But yeah, so. Inactives come out in the next, 30 minutes. I'm expecting something fun. Like, something like, okay, like cool.
All 3 quarterbacks being active?
Maybe. Something weird. Let's get weird. Maybe
what
Jason
about a Greg
Huntley's
Ward pass? A Greg Ward pass to Jalen Hurts?
We have a million quarterbacks.
I could buy it.
I think we need to get a trick play. I need this aggressiveness.
Oh, this is the game.
Fire it up.
I got one for you, Mike.
Ran a trick play.
Mike, I got one for you.
What do you got?
So, our fans were super high on Kayvon whenever we drafted him. Why haven't we seen more of him to this point? Like, why are we seeing so much Rudy Ford and Marcus Epps versus Kayvon being out there?
I don't know if they trust this is just a presumption based on what I've seen and heard. I don't know if they trust him fully in coverage. I think that's kind of what the delay is. I also know that Tim Houck loves Marcus Epps. So, okay. I mean, look, you look at it this way. They had, 9 rookies make the team without a training camp and without OTAs, really, like a true training camp and OTAs. Yeah. I think they're trying to, not hurt these guys' confidence right off the bat. Like, if you think about it, if you think about it with Doug Peterson, Miles Sanders is really the first guy to kind of come in and Jalen Reagor, the first 2 guys to really kind of come in and just immediately have ownership in the offense and the defense. Like they don't just throw guys out there, which I actually think is the smarter approach. But that said, I mean, I think look, Kayvon's actually got the only converted turnover
Yep.
of the season. He made an incredible play on special teams.
Yeah, he
like
just
his
squatted
awareness.
right up top.
I was right up. I was in the booth. I was like, "What is going on?" Like he just like attacked the ball, which you don't really see that with young guys. Like the situational awareness. So, look again. I think Marcus Epps, like Jordan Mailata, is going to have a very short leash, and I think if you look at Kayvon, he makes a lot of sense. But I also think you have to keep in mind Will Parks is coming back.
Yep.
And once Will Parks is back, everything changes. I don't think people understand how important Will Parks was to this defense and the way they were using him in training camp. He was a legit nickel corner who could play free safety, which he probably will if Jalen Mills plays well tonight.
Drop down to linebacker as well.
Yeah, sub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, he can move around. He was the guy that was really going to replace Malcolm in like 2 of his 3 roles that he plays. And so like they've had to kind of figure that out. I think he's going to be, they would have loved to have him against Kittle tonight. I mean, he can play both safety. He actually helps you disguise because he can play free safety. He can play strong safety. He can play nickel corner. He can play some outside. He can play dime linebacker. He can do a lot of things. It would not shock me if you saw less Nathan Gary and more Will Parks moving forward. Because I think they like
what I'm asking for.
No,
I think they like what they have in TJ Edwards, but they don't really know what he is because he's really just a 2-down linebacker. You don't want him in coverage necessarily. And then Duke Riley's a guy who had a really good camp, but just fell off a bus. Like, just like kind of, it's a weird situation for them because they don't value linebacker. I shouldn't say they don't value linebacker play, but they don't invest in linebacker play, as everyone knows.
Yep.
And that's really, really hampering to safeties and really hampering to cornerbacks because you can't depend on the underneath coverage. You can't depend on guys making form tackles at the line. You have to rely too heavily on bunch tackles. And I think that's the problem here. I think the defensive line's playing pretty well, but Nate Gary isn't Nigel Bradham, who I thought Nigel Bradham was pretty overrated, but the difference is abundantly clear.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have paid Jordan Hicks what Jordan Hicks made out in Arizona, but you didn't effectively replace him. I talked to people in the league who thought Davian Taylor was a late day 3 pick. They took him in the 3rd round. You had the opportunity to draft Logan Wilson, who, in my opinion, was like one of the best sleepers on day 2. They showed a ton of interest in him. Jeremy Chin's a guy who could have been like the weak side linebacker for the next 10 years.
Everybody's crying now. Everybody's crying.
I know. Well, after draft, we're always talking about shoulda, coulda, woulda, man. Like if we could just nail a draft one time,
just one.
It would be great.
All 7.
Yeah.
How bad was? Look,
I like what they did outside of day 2. I really do. I like how he put on a clinic day 3. I don't think people realize how special day 3 was.
Driscoll looks really good.
Okay, you want to hear something fun about Driscoll? I've spoken to a lot of people in the scouting world, and they did not think they thought Driscoll was way overdrafted. He has completely shattered everybody's expectations. Kayvon was a guy that they thought was going to get drafted in the 3rd round. Jalen Hurts was a guy. I think I brought this up the last time I was on your podcast. There were a lot of people in the league that thought he would make it to the 4th. So, it's one of those things where they didn't want to have a situation where they waited to take James Morgan in the 4th round and then get stuck with another, Clayton Thorson. That was their thing. They really liked James Morgan. James Morgan was a guy they really genuinely liked, and he would have been the guy that they would have taken had they probably taken Chin in the 2nd round.
All right, sorry. I got to
get out of here at 6, but go for it.
Okay, I just want to know, what was the deal with them waiting so long to put Peters on the IR first? And
Peter. Okay, gotcha. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. It's kind of surprising. I supposedly the injury was separate from the one that he suffered in the game.
Okay.
I don't know what happened apparently he told the coaching staff on Friday that he had a toe injury.
Gotcha. Chris, go ahead.
Let's go. Now I'm blanking. But that was the thing though. It went from a shin injury to fatigue, and then Peters was on IR.
Injury.
Yeah, so it was super weird to see that, and then now I'm blanking on my question though. I'm sorry, Mike.
No, I can continue to ramble till you figure it out.
Ed, go with your second, then I'll think of mine.
was bizarre.
Yeah. So I just want to know, you talked about how you talked highly about Driscoll. He looked like he's shattering people's expectations. So with my going into tonight with Mailata, like, is this do or die night for Mailata? Like, you show up or else we're just going to move with Driscoll moving forward, because we're going to miss Peters for some weeks now with him being on the IR.
Well, they should miss Peters for the rest of the year, to be honest with you. I mean, I think like this is the time to, yeah, this is the time. He's not playing well. He's not playing well.
No, he was getting abused.
Look, if you think, let's say you go on a run, maybe you have him back in the second half of the season. But like, if he's going to be hampered by this toe injury, and he's a guy who consistently has lower leg injuries, I don't know if it's the best move. You want to see what you have in Mailata. You've invested 3 years in this project. Jeff Salton's maybe the most respected offensive line coach in the league outside of, well, no, I guess he just retired in New England. Dante Scarnecchia. Anyway, look, I'm not saying Mailata is the answer. Look, if he has a Winston Justice game, this podcast never happened. But this has just been a bad look since Jason Peters got here. If you follow the storyline, Jason Peters comes in, he's going to play right guard, then he holds them up for money so that he can move over. Then he's abysmal for 3 games. Then he has like the weirdest week of injuries / illness you've ever seen in the NFL.
Yeah.
Then he's on IR. You know you're going to miss him for at least 3 weeks. Well, here's the thing. If one of these guys plays well, which you presume they will because you've scouted and drafted them and have them on the roster, why bring back Jason Peters? Why?
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike,
why? He's not going to be here next year.
Yeah, it's and you got to see what you got. Mike, I actually remembered though. So this is a confusing part with our scouting department. So as much that we watched and scouted Dillard to take him in the first round, you would think that we would have looked at Gardner Minshew, who was playing behind him the whole time, and got picked right after Thorson. And that was like the bizarre thing, because we were at the link for the draft, and I text Gail because I just left, and I said, like, why did we take Clayton Thorson? Because he didn't look I watched his game tape that year because I thought maybe we'd take a backup quarterback for chief option, and like Thorson was awful that last year. And then like I remember when we took Dillard, I was like, I wonder if like we looked at Minshew at all, because he threw like out of the roof that year. And then that would have been a perfect like cheap option. So you would think if they're going to use that much capital to take the left tackle of the team, maybe they're looking at the quarterback. You know what I mean?
No, I 100% know what you mean. So while I'm answering this question, I got some homework for you guys. I want you to look up the size, weight of Clayton Thorson, and then I want you to look up the size and weight of Doug Peterson and their measurables.
Anyway, the same.
Yep. Go look it up.
I don't want to.
It's haunting. It's haunting. So let's start with Dillard. I'm gonna get in a little trouble here. You really think they scouted him really well? Like, do you think that was something that they put a lot of effort, time into?
I don't, because his name never came up when Gail and I were looking at, because I liked Elton Jenkins a lot, and he ended up on the Packers. That's who I really liked. And like as soon as Dillard came in, like, oh, like he dropped right to us, like I'm like, yeah, but I don't. His name never came up on any of the scouting reports.
He didn't drop to us. We had to move up to get him.
But like,
I think that was there was a highly rated tackle that was falling. They needed an eventual successor. I think that was kind of like a, hey, let's push the button.
Wasn't he the analytics?
Regarding Gardner Minshew, he wasn't your prototypical size or strength guy. I mean, you look at Carson Wentz, he's 6'5". You look at Nate Sudfeld, he's 6'6". Nick Foles, 6'5". Like, they want guys who are bigger and kind of replicate Doug Peterson. Now, if you look at Clayton Thorson, they're almost identical. When you look it up. It's bizarre. I took that as pre-QB factory, Doug Peterson wanting to develop another quarterback. I can tell you that Jalen Hurts was more of a front office pick. But here's the thing. Here's what you learn, right? So you draft a guy late, and you draft the wrong guy late, and then you draft a guy who has similar measurables and similar talent to Gardner Minshew in the second round. So chew on that a little bit.
I don't want to.
Or not.
The front office is just driving me nuts.
A whole lot.
Look,
This is keep piling on each other year after year.
All right, so I went through the effort, Mike. Clayton Thorson was a 6'4", 225 quarterback compared to Doug's 6'3", 221. I mean, it's pretty spot on. You think he was going through a clone version of himself?
That's the only thing I can reconcile. Like I don't know what they saw on tape. Like unless they're calling
what did Doug feel so confident about his playing career that he's like, you know what, we need another one of me?
Right?
I think they wanted to develop like a good long-term backup. He wanted Jim Sorgi for Carson because frankly, every time they would talk about Clayton, because I asked him about him a lot. I really like the storyline of a backup quarterback. That's like one of my favorite storylines to cover, especially a rookie one.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, so what do you like about Clayton Thorson? Well, he's married. You know, it shows that he's like committed. You know what I mean? He's very smart. Oh yeah, you can look up the article. I wrote an article. Press Taylor's like, one of the things that stood out to me was that he was married. And I was like,
that's not a thing.
Man, someone
I mean, look, I really worked 40 ever, but I don't think I'd be a very good backup quarterback. So
yeah.
Maybe
Doug was just thinking that he wants to make Thorson a head coach maybe 25 years down the line, and this is the first step.
Well, if Nate Sudfeld's not going to be an assistant coach at some point, I don't know really what he's going to be. But anyway, I got to head out. So if you guys want to, anything you got quick before I head out?
I don't think anything. If you want to plug anything, feel free, man.
Sure. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at Mike_E_KAYE. It's literally the worst name on Twitter. I got it when I was blogging back in the day. And then, we'll have complete coverage, whether they win or lose. Just remember, guys, the reason to watch this game is if the Eagles win, they're in first place in the division. So I hope you guys enjoy our content. I hope you guys continue to support Fourth and John, who I think you guys do a fantastic job. It's really cool to watch your guys' product from afar and be on this podcast. So thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on, man. Always welcome.
All right.
Hopefully I'll see you maybe next week or the week after.
We're getting a win today, man. Speaking into existence.
Look, hey, if Jalen Hurts scores a touchdown, you've got to give me all the props in the world. Every time I'm on here, I'm the I need like a nickname. We gotta do something. You got to keep on brand. All right,
we'll get you a crystal ball or something. Take care, man. Thank you.
All right, see you guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Dropping some nuggets, Chris.
How does Eagles Twitter feel hearing that? They took Clayton Thorson and liked him because he was fucking married.
I'm ready to go kill someone right now. I gotta be completely honest.
Like if that's how we're picking people. Like, dude, we take so much time out of our own time and we just talk on here without resources. Like I'll reach out to coaches and like other people that I know that do scouting and that's how I'll find out about players. Like there was 0% chance of any of us wanting to take Clayton Thorson.
You know how many failed marriages I know about, and that's the requisite.
And he was married in college. What kind of decision is that?
That's just bizarre, though. And it's just
that spoke to you that he thinks clearly.
I know,
right?
And that's the thing, though. That's why I'm always optimistic about the Eagles, because we've drafted so terribly, and we still have gone to the playoffs, won a Super Bowl, and we've somehow go above expectations, honestly, with what we put out there sometimes. And if we do hit on the picks, maybe it'll come together. And it's just it's so frustrating. But that's why it sucks that it took injuries, but now we're actually going to get to see these guys. I want all the young guys to play. I want Carson to play well and get the balls to the young guys, because I'm going to know what we have. Because if these guys suck and they're not good, you got to draft better. You got to get free agents, and you got to dump these people, because you can't keep doing the same crap product every year and just giving these guys all the chances in the world, when you have some of these guys coming up the street for other teams and they're great. Like James Robinson on Jacksonville, dude's running for 100 yards a game as an undrafted free agent running back. That's why Adrian Killins, I want to see him tonight. I want to see him and Miles dual backfield, split backfield, have them both run wheel routes. I want to see Killins play tonight. I want to see him with the ball in his hands. Listen, I get it. People have their fantasy teams. I do. I love Miles Sanders, but I'm not going to care if Miles Sanders has 50 yards and Killins ends up with 150 if the team wins.
Chris is exactly right. This is the time when the the division is in play, you've got to see what you've got with this roster because we're not healthy right now. Like, you've got to take these chances. You've got to make these creative plays happen.
Yep.
And see what you've got with this roster because there's not much that you can say going into a game against the NFC contender from the Super Bowl last year when your healthiest wide receiver, you have like one guy who was on the starting roster to start this year. Like,
yeah. And
you've got to make
of,
plays somehow.
We have a
speaking
guest.
of,
We have a guest in the green room.
We have a guest.
This guy is a extraordinaire chef, working with Google, out in Colorado, diehard Eagle fan.
the Alphabet Company.
Shout out to Alex. How you doing, man? Welcome to the show, man.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
How you doing, man?
He's about to make something.
Word on the street
hungry.
is that you
You gonna make a W?
You were to cook something for us tonight.
I am. We're gonna do a fancy Philly cheesesteak today.
Ooh.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Now, Alex, if you could turn your phone
Sideways. Oh,
sideways.
there we go. Other way. This way.
Yeah,
Living. Perfect.
perfect.
I'll try. I do what I can.
So what are you making for us? You said a cheesesteak tonight.
Yeah. So fancy Philly cheesesteak. Gonna do some ribeye. Let's get this bad boy going.
Oh,
Nice
yeah.
fatty ribeye.
That
Yeah,
is a gorgeous piece of meat right there. Oh, baby.
All right. It's a good start.
We,
right
we
there.
got butter in the pan, or what's going on?
So I trimmed it and
That's that cast
took
iron.
the fat, put it in there just to heat it up, get some fat obviously off of it.
Yeah.
Back here, got some oyster mushrooms and some
Nice.
onions going. Good to
I'm
add some thyme, some garlic,
I'm getting hungry now, man.
Dude, I'm
I'm
starving.
getting hungry now.
balsamic vinegar, organic, because we're in Colorado right now.
Man, I wish the Eagles put this much detail and love into the team, man. This is beautiful.
Got to start with
You know-
good ingredients.
Yeah, everything I do, everything I cook, I put love into. It's like
Got to.
let's do the same.
Yeah, we
and
all
get a
got so
W.
close to our cameras. We're just like looking at each other.
Like, what you got going on? Right.
Let's see.
So what do you got seasoned on there?
What do I got on that right now?
Yeah, seasoned
Just salt right now.
salt.
Just salt. Get the flavor of the beef going. Start off, nice here, like you guys heard, I'm sure. I like my steak medium rare. If you like it well done, don't talk to me. Do not
Don't
talk
talk to me.
Just kidding. You guys can talk to me. So what we're gonna do is let this guy cook. Letting that guy roll in the back. Like I said, onions and mushrooms, mushrooms. Gonna add some garlic right now to this.
Now, hey Alex, Paul has a question. He says, "What cheese are you using?"
I hate to do this, but shout out to Whole Foods. Cabot. Here we go. Show you the whole thing. It's right here. Fuego.
Because that all right, so
Fuego.
notes of Swiss
This is very fancy.
and Parmesan. So it's like
Yeah,
a Swiss and Parmesan mix?
So it's a nice, salty, nutty flavor, No one
Okay.
likes salty nuts, but, we're down for it. Hopefully after this W tonight, they will have salty nuts. They're not going to lie,
Adam says you better get that Prover or that Wiz, man.
Oh,
Do you have a regular game day meal that you usually go to?
No, I don't, unfortunately. I should. Normally we're working, but I've been lucky lately because, like I said, I work for Google.
Yeah.
I'm off on nights and weekends, so that's pretty rare as a cook and as a chef.
You
But
ever cook the
wings,
Philly
wings-
cheesesteak for them at Google?
My God, yeah. They so I actually cooked for them. There's like a sandwich station. They needed a fill-in, so I filled in. I was like, you know what? Let's make a Philly cheesesteak for these people. They have no idea what's going to happen. Made the Philly cheesesteak, and then the day after, it's like, hey, you're the sandwich king, right? Like, you're that guy. So from now on, and I'm the sandwich king of Boulder in Colorado.
Very nice. We got to bless the rest of the country with our beautiful Philly flavors, man.
Yeah, they have no idea what's going on out here. Do
you go green peppers in the cheesesteak as well?
I hate green peppers.
Right. That's the correct way to do it. Because I go around the country. I'm seeing outside of Philadelphia, you see all these restaurants that are throwing the green peppers, sometimes mushrooms in there. I don't know. I think meat, fried onions, bread, cheese. That's all you need.
I don't even like onions.
Listen, I'm a chef, right? I have to make everything a little bit
however people want it.
Unfortunately, right? And you got to cater to the people as well. So I love onions and mushrooms on my cheesesteak. Oh my god, I'm mouth watering right now. You guys can't. I feel bad because y'all aren't even here to try this, but
I know, dude.
It is. It's kind of
when the tailgates start going, go out there and absolutely make some food with you guys.
That'd be awesome.
So how long do you cook it on one side? Do you keep it there for what?
So you're looking about 8 minutes-ish. I don't know. I'm using an electrical unit right now, so we're not very tech savvy up in here. But normally it'd be around 6 to 8 minutes on each side, and then let it rest, and go to town on that after. I'm gonna let mine rest not as long because I want to eat it quicker because I'm absolutely starving, just like everybody else is, I'm sure. But yeah, that's
you going with a seeded or non-seeded roll? What are we looking at over there?
So
bread everywhere else is trash, but
yeah,
the roaster rolls.
Because really the roll is
pretty good.
Yeah, that looks decent.
Close, it's close to what we're used to, but this is technically a soft baguette. So shout out to France, I guess. Yeah, it's unfortunate. The bread game here is pretty strong, but where I shop today is pretty weak. I'm not gonna lie.
So where are you in Colorado in relation to Denver, I guess?
So I am about 20 minutes north of Denver, Colorado, and I work in Boulder, Colorado. So I'm right in between both, about 20 minutes each way.
Gotcha.
I hop on the highway and I literally look at the mountains and then I drive into work. That's it every day, and I love it.
Now how'd you become an Eagle fan out there? Are you originally from Philly?
So I'm from New York. My pops is from Philly. His whole family. And then I was blessed with the curse that we have. And
ain't that the truth?
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but whatever.
Now, can you talk Eagles and cook at the same time?
Can I?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk.
Yeah.
We are talking Eagles.
Multitasking.
Alex, you go by Alexander or Alex?
No, I go by Alex, unless my mom's yelling at me. Then it's Alexander.
Alexander, you're burning the steak.
Not Alex, come on. What are you doing? Open up a window.
Soko,
What's up, my brother?
I noticed the name change down there. Is there any news you'd like to share?
Oh man, my DFS lineups hit today. I put $150 in. I won in 3 of them. Had 4 more top 3 finishes and 2 top 10 finishes. So $150 turned into $11K real fast for me, boys.
Damn.
Wow. Yeah. Soko is winning today.
That is a W.
Congratulations, my brother.
Wait a minute. You said 11,000.
11,000.
That's a K.
Richer. Well, I mean, $10,850 richer. If you want to get technical.
Close enough.
That's 11K in my book.
Hey,
you know what else is 11? Carson Wentz.
So, I mean, I guess what I'm getting at is if you need any information on your daily fantasy lineups, I think that's your guy to go to.
That's
right
your guy.
there.
I did hand it out to you guys beforehand. Let's see if anybody took advantage of it.
Chris looks like he's got money.
I'm sitting in shock. I'm like, I can use that 11K.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, if you need a private
Chris
chef,
$1.
I got you.
Yeah.
That's my guy right there.
It's a Soko right now.
I'm a stud. I'm ballsy. I don't take no shit from anyone.
Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sort of like torn between I'm hungry and then I'm mad that you won 11,000, and why
Man.
that won 11,000, and I can't even taste the steak and cheese.
Bro, we'll just get Alex.
I can
We'll
just
fly
hear it
Alex and we'll
sizzling.
meet in the middle.
Hey, we need some close-ups when it starts getting.
Yeah.
All right, let me. This is working a little. So I flipped it. That's what we're working with right now. Deep inhales and bigger out, exhales right there. Back here. We're going, man. We're going. Might set up the fire alarm or whatever, but it'd be delicious anyway. So I'm excited for this game tonight.
Why?
Bro, I'm excited to see that steak.
Kelly's like, why?
I really.
We gotta get them to have their back against the wall. That's when they play best. So like, give them a lot of shit. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, every time you doubt them, they show up.
I'm wearing Westbrook for a reason today. I think I'm hoping, not I think, I hope that we could, be dominant on the run. Like, just let Miles run loose, baby. Let him run loose.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we need.
Don't you anticipate the 49ers
What do I think from
blocking
them?
everything up on the run game, making Wentz throw it? Like, that's what
What's
I
up, Nick?
expect.
Yeah, I mean, they're good at pressure, but, using Miles doesn't have to only be running, I guess, too. Put him outside, put him in the slot, shit. Put him anywhere. Like, he's a player, He's a football player, not just a running back. So
True.
I think that you can make a big statement, this week. I mean, I know that they're banged up a little bit too, so that helps us. I don't know how much it helps us, but it helps us a little bit. I think we'll surprise people. I really do.
Yep.
Nick Bosa not being in certainly helps too.
And
I mean,
Ford.
they're on their
And
backup quarterback,
Yeah.
so it's Carson Wentz against Nick Mullins right now.
Did y'all notice how Nick
We should
Bosa
feel
got-
better about it than
y'all
we
notice how Nick
currently
Bosa
do.
got hurt?
Who?
Nick Bosa got hurt after.
He was at MetLife Stadium.
No, after Chad Bosworth passed away, and he had mentioned that Black Panther was one of the worst Marvel movies.
He said
Nick
that.
Bosa said that?
Yeah, and then do you see how the universe works?
Yeah.
Good for him.
Why would you
And that's
say
straight
that?
up karma.
Just smacked him back.
Why would you say
Straight up
that?
karma.
Chris knows. Chris
Bro,
knows.
I mean,
Nick Bosa is MAGA America, baby.
Yeah, but it's like not even a thing to say like that after somebody dies. What the fuck?
Well, he said that. He said that prior. He said that,
The Bosa family's a bunch of bums.
yeah.
Is Joey Bosa still showing out the way that I haven't heard his name as much as I feel
He's still
like
having a good year because that Chiefs game. So that's like the weird thing because like you hear all this crap about Nick Bosa, and then I watch Hard Knocks reluctantly, but like Joey Bosa just seems like a really nice opposite version of Nick Bosa. Like he was like crying when he signed his contract, and he's like, I'm just so happy for my family, and then like Nick Bosa is just like a douchebag, and I was like,
Yeah, because Nick got to follow in the steps of Joey.
yeah.
Younger sibling complex.
Yeah, maybe it's that. Maybe he's just trying to prove that he's the superior Bosa.
Are you mixing over there? What's going on over there?
What's up, Alex?
Definitely
What's going
not
on?
messing up right now, I'll tell you that. Sorry, I don't know if
You're on.
You're on.
Yeah, you're on. You're good. What is your favorite? What is your favorite meal to make, Alex? I'm sure you make a lot more than just the cheesesteak. What's your favorite meal to make?
Oh my god, throw anything in a smoker. I love my barbecue. Pulled pork, barbecue pork ribs, whatever it is. Yeah, ribs. I love ribs. Shout out to Fat Boys Barbecue. We actually won. I love Lake Placid competition. 6th best ribs in the East out of 75 other competitors. Yeah,
What's up,
this
Jeff?
is like our
Welcome
first
to-
month
welcome to the
doing
stream,
it too.
Jeff.
Just a bunch of culinary kids. So yeah, pretty dope. I do a lot of Asian fusion. Now living, in Colorado, there's a heavy Hispanic influence. So, I'm picking up on that now too, which is pretty cool for my repertoire, knowledge for culinary.
Very nice.
So
Yo, guys, something that we don't want to talk about, but like a big elephant in the room, is COVID, because we saw like all the schedule changes this week, and now we have New England and we have Kansas City. Their game got moved to tomorrow night. Steelers and Titans got moved to a completely different week. I think they're playing week 7.
That's the money shot.
Oh,
hold on right there. Can we get that one more time?
Do it again. Do it again. Do it again.
That was a premature money shot.
That was a money shot. Damn, Warner girl.
Oh, yeah, that looks delightful.
She's
fire.
Now you got to let that rest.
Pretty. So like I said, I'm gonna wait a little bit. Yeah, you let it rest because you'll get juices all over the place, and you don't want that. You want that juice to go back into the meat. That's what we're gonna do.
Damn! I can smell it from here.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel bad. You guys should be eating this right now.
I always watch cooking shows. I can cook a little bit, but I like watching cooking shows.
Speaking of Gail's just last statement, do you have a cook that you emulate? Is there anyone that you look up to in any chefs?
Yes, there are. There's a
Rachel
chef,
Ray.
Myron Mixon. He's a Rachel Ray, Jesus.
Martha Stewart.
She's a great. Hey, she's a great personality. That's what she is.
Yeah.
No, but so Myron Mixon, he's a smoke legend. Rest in peace, Bourdain. He was the OG. Just
absolutely
tatted up. He lived the chef life, super hard. So, shout out to him. There's a bunch of guys. I don't know, too many to name. There's a lot of good chefs out there.
We got a question from Nick. We got a question from Nick from YouTube. Think we can get the W today?
Yeah, we can definitely get the W today.
Gonna eat W.
It's gonna hurt a lot, but I think this is a game that could be a W. Any game that the Eagles are in, I think we can get a W.
Could or will be a W.
Getting a little dumb.
I think I was gonna put on a brave face for you guys, but
I'll put on a brave face. I'll say it's a possibility for sure. Am I expecting it? I'm being realistic, guys. I want to come on here and tell you that every game that the Eagles are going to win.
There's too many unknowns about this team.
Yeah, it's really Carson Wentz and the receivers.
You don't know how the wide
you can throw those gifts in my face all you want, but I don't know where you're finding your source of confidence right now.
Nick Mullins is the opposing quarterback. That's where the confidence is.
Okay,
all right, and we have a starting quarterback that's playing worse than a backup quarterback right now. So why should I feel confident?
Well, maybe
We
Sam.
had no turnovers on
all
defense.
of us won $11,000 today. Soko,
I'm feeling good, baby.
I know you're feeling good. It's hard to bring you off cloud 9 right now.
Sam, where are you at?
I am currently in the sports book at Red Rock Casino in Las Vegas.
I fucking called it. So is he in Las Vegas right now?
Did you
Joko, put 11K on the Birds money line.
If you send me the wire, I'll put it on there right now.
11K money line. Birds.
I got a bet going on the Eagles, but I can't bet against my own team. All my friends are betting on San Fran tonight. Nobody seems
What's the line?
The Eagles can win, but
what's the line?
We are here. We are hopeful, and we will see.
So how much money you got
betting from there tonight?
What?
How much money you got betting?
Currently I'm here right now. Oh shit. I'm trying to figure out how to turn this the other way. I can't figure it out. I can do that.
Yeah, turn your phone sideways.
Currently watching in here. We got the Bills, the Rams, and the Colts games on. But we'll stay here. It'll be all Eagles tonight. So,
What's the vibes in Vegas right now? Has everybody got their chin diapers on, or what's going on?
Yep. everyone's got their chin diapers on. You can see I'm wearing mine right now.
Yeah.
Luckily in here it's very social distance. There's only 2 parties, me and my friends and this other group. So, you know, we're over here, you know, hanging out, and you know, we're all relaxing. But out in the casinos, it's mask required. I've been very, very careful. I don't want to catch the Rona, and you know, just trying to stay healthy and stay okay.
Are they limiting the amount of people like on the floors?
Yes. Okay. Yes, they are. Everything's limited. Who can sit at the tables? All the clubs are closed. The bars are open to a certain extent, but you know, it's Vegas, but it's at like 60% capacity. So,
gotcha. Well, you should get on the. I tell you, Sam, you should get on the first ride over to Colorado because Alex is cooking up the best cheesesteak of your life.
It's looking pretty good.
I actually had a cheesesteak. I had a cheesesteak from a place here. It's called Capriccio's.
I bet you they put green peppers on it. I
did put green peppers on it.
Put them in a battery. Get them out of here.
Trash can.
But how's everyone else doing? How are you guys all doing today?
Doing well.
Are we hopeful? What's the vibe like? Are we hopeful?
I'm excited. For the game tonight.
Okay.
The word I would use.
Are you guys excited, or you're nervous? Excited.
I'm excited.
I'm excited for every Eagles game that comes on, man. No matter what, I'm excited for
any opportunity to get in the win column and get the loss out of the way. I hate it. Like right after we lose, I want it to be the next game because I hate just like sleeping being a loser. That's like the worst feeling. Just waiting a week until you can play again and just be like, to get it away. And now we've lost every single game. It's just like it's driving me nuts.
The timeline is a wreck.
Timeline is a wreck.
Timeline is always a wreck.
But it's so bad right now. Like, especially after the tie. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
The Giants are within 1 score of the Rams right now.
Are they really?
Yeah, 17-9.
Go figure.
Thank God the Cowboys weren't able to come back in that because, I really thought they were going to have another crazy comeback today.
That was a crazy game. There was a bunch of Browns fans in here. They were going absolutely ballistic. That was a crazy game.
I definitely felt like the refs weren't on the Cowboys' side half that game.
Well,
which was a weird.
Oh my gosh!
Hold on a second.
Whoa.
Alex.
Yo,
wow.
Whoa.
That is dripping.
Yes. That looks good.
That does look really good.
My hands are.
So how are we going to cut these like real thin to go on the roll, or how you doing it?
Holy shit! Cooper Cup.
Oh,
love
the Cooper Cup touchdown was great. We're all on the Rams over here, so we're pretty heavy under that.
Dude, great Cooper Cup story is that he was so slow in high school that when he got to college, he would wear ankle weights everywhere. He would sleep with ankle weights. He would walk to class with ankle weights. And he said that's how he got fast.
That's great.
Is that a real turnover?
I'm not watching. No, and that's one thing I didn't understand with us not having the inside track on Cooper Cup was that like him and Wentz, I think they had the same agent or like they practiced. Yeah, they practiced together the whole draft season, and Wentz like, yeah, I love Cooper Cup. He would be great.
Yeah, I think it was Jared. It's Jared Goff and Carson Wentz have the same agent, right?
Yeah,
I believe.
One front office listened, the other didn't.
Yeah. Unfortunate. But realistically, at the point in time, do we trust like our wide receivers coach to have developed Cooper Cup into what he is?
No.
Not the slightest bit.
Our development sucks on like every aspect of the roster.
I'm hopeful this year because I see a lot of progress in like the DBs, and I see a lot of progress in like the wide receivers not dropping passes. Like the wide receivers are getting open, they're just not
getting a good ball.
Yeah, they're not getting a good pass, or they're not even being targeted. So I have hope for the future that if Carson Wentz straightens it out, that we'll light the scoreboard up quick.
How crazy is it that
what's going on over here? What's going on over here?
I feel like we're approaching
Hey
the big
now, hey
finish
now,
right
hey
here.
now.
there's some barbecue sauce
some
being added
action.
here? There's some
I
action.
think this is the mushrooms, right?
Mushrooms and
mushrooms
fried
and
onions.
onions. Yep.
Am I a bad
Apparently,
person for
just
mushrooms?
added.
Am I just a bad person for not liking mushrooms?
Yes.
Oh my
Absolutely.
goodness gracious.
Yo,
Absolutely not.
Oh,
Someone,
you're supposed to
Uh,
warn us before showing
there
us
she
this
is.
hey,
kind of.
someone screenshot that. Hold on.
Holy shit.
Hold it up one more
I got
time.
you.
Holy shit.
Smile next to it, and then hold it up. I'm gonna screenshot it.
Smile.
Smile.
Yeah.
My mom doesn't even get me to smile. Jeez.
You are
Very
smiling
nice.
right now.
Very nice. Love it.
Nice.
That looks delicious.
Oh my
Fire.
god, bro.
That's
That
looking
looks
nice.
so good.
So,
Is that all for you, or are you going to be sharing?
nah, my girlfriend, she's in the other room right now.
Gotcha.
She will be having some of this. I'm sure she'll try to eat most of it because
We're
it's
getting
that
fresh
delicious.
grate too.
It's delicious.
Oh my.
Yeah, so
I'm so mad.
rated. You know, I think
Oh my god.
keep this.
He wasn't lying when he
Get
said
this
it was a
boy
fancy
going.
cheesesteak. Damn. Look at that
I
cheese
mean,
action.
It's making me feel some
yeah, I
type
can
of
maybe
way.
have truffle on it or something like that, but I want this to be an approachable sandwich for everybody, you know.
Approachable.
approachable.
So that you can make it at home, or I can make it for you at your house.
Wow.
Oh
So
my
cheese on there.
goodness gracious.
Heat.
Now you're putting it in
Added for a
the
little
oven.
bit.
Oh
man.
AJ says that looks yummy.
Oh, thank you. It's delicious.
Damn, dude. I'm starving now, dude. Like I'm
Yeah.
I'm about to eat my hand.
That was.
I wish I could eat anything
Telling
that's
you,
not
when
bland.
you get real.
Why can't you eat anything that's not bland?
My stomach is not agreeing with me at the moment.
Oh, I'm so sorry, but at least you're 11K richer.
Yeah, I do have that.
Like on
Yeah,
one hand, you're 11,000 richer, but then you have Rona.
Yeah, I do.
So we didn't get to finish the conversation Chris was
Struggles.
starting about COVID and the issue that it is now presenting in the NFL, which I feel like is a very
Real
real
problem.
threat to a terrible season we're having, but to the NFL in general.
Oh, fire.
That's not a problem though.
Oh, what a happy boy. What a happy boy right there.
Oh God, I gotta eat something.
I'm starving.
Yeah, no, but
My
I
buddy,
completely agree, Kelly and Chris, that like this whole thing, I think it's something that we were all kind of seeing that was going to definitely come down the pipe. I think everybody anticipated that eventually there was going to be some positive tests to show up. But like the way that it's multiple teams. It just feels, and I think the other factor of it is just how it kind of lays dormant. And people aren't really aware if they have it for the first few days. And that could, it could look like you don't have it. And then all of a sudden you go about your life how you normally would. And you come into contact with people. And then all of a sudden you've had it the whole past week. Mm-hmm. And then whoever you went in contact with is also sick. So I think that, honestly, if more teams, like, I don't know how many teams it would take for them to shut down the league. But if they're going to have to, I don't know what's going to happen with all these games that they're going to postpone.
They said that the Eagles,
welcome to the show. Welcome to the stream,
were
Brianna.
traveling with like 3,000 hand wipes, 600 face masks. Like, the lengths that teams have to go to stay safe is like so insane because they're traveling to California, which is a high, like, COVID area right now. Yep. So, like, the threat is there when you're traveling. It's just part of the situation.
What you have to deal with, for sure.
The owners are just going to keep going and going and going.
Yeah,
because,
they don't want to stop.
They're losing so much revenue from like beer and food sales and ticket sales, and like they were talking. And that's like the ridiculous thing in my part, like how they're punishing teams like for the cap, because the cap was going to go up to 240, now it's all the way back to like 170. And it's just like, I get it, like the cap should go down, but I think it's like ridiculous that like a team like us that like, and other teams that were like, we've been planning for years, like to have the cap where it's at, and then it just moves all of a sudden. Like
Mm-hmm.
I get it, like it is what it is, but it's so bizarre though. Like it literally is what 70 million less than expected, and it's like the floor just drops onto you.
Absolutely. And the problem is that, a totally different sport in general, like you see the Phillies owner saying like, oh, I didn't want to pay the best catcher because we don't know if there's going to be fans next year. So like that's how owners are thinking right now. Like that's like black and white. Like
and honestly, like owners are pretty much like owners are essentially like parents when you're a little kid and you ask them like, well, why can't I do that? Well, it's because I said so. It doesn't matter as far like we can identify that the owners are being kind of hell yes. Yeah, exactly. That they're being unfair and that like maybe they're being pretty greedy. Wow. We're gonna get a cross section?
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
Listen,
I think it's pretty unbelievable that he said that. To be quite honest, you trade away a couple assets for. Did you think this year team or last year team is going to be a World Series team? Probably not.
No.
So that was the dumbest thing he could say.
Yeah,
but,
like if he just said I'm like too
what's up,
cheap,
Karate Mark?
that would have been better.
My!
Oh, look at that!
Yo,
Karate Mark, look at that, man.
I had to hold on to my hat.
That is,
That
dude.
is fantastic.
Kudos to you. That looks delicious, Alex. Delicious.
Unbelievable.
Why aren't we there?
Thank you. Yeah.
But
What's up, Mark?
It's like just tell people you're cheap.
So I know 4th and John hasn't exactly reached Google's level yet, but is there any way we could bring you on full time to cook for us? Because that just looks incredible, man.
Yo, you killed it with that joint.
Absolutely, for sure. I don't even, you know what? I'll just live in my mom's basement. I'll drive every day from New York to Philly. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
My man.
I like it.
That is awesome.
Thank you guys for having me on. I really appreciate it. I had a lot of fun talking.
Absolutely, man. You want to give a score prediction before you head out of here?
Oh, jeez. I think we need to keep the game under 20 points. Anything after that, we're in trouble just because we don't have the offensive power right now. I don't want to say 20-17, but I mean 20-17 Birds. Let's go.
Let's go. Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Oh man.
Respect.
Like I said, thank you guys. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Shout out to Heads Up Sports Club on Facebook. Shout out to everybody in Philly, New York. Hope everyone can stay safe. Let's get through this. Next year, I'm making this for you in the parking lot. Parking lot. I'm making food right now for a phone. That's what I feel like.
Thank you so much, man.
All right, guys.
I appreciate you.
Enjoy it, man.
Later.
Take it easy, Alex.
Wow.
Fire.
Good stuff.
What a moment.
I'm glad.
What a moment.
I'm hot.
Yeah, that's I didn't want to say anything, but I'm feeling the type of way right now. Like that was.
That's a sexy sandwich.
I gotta go get something to
Sexiest
eat.
sandwich I've seen in a while.
You guys already eat?
No, I have not.
A while ago. Yeah, I haven't eaten in like 4 or 5 hours.
I don't think
Like
I
another,
actually don't think I've
butter
eaten
bread
yet today.
sandwich.
You just forgot.
Ev, come on, Ev. You're gonna pass out during the game if you eat something.
No, well, that's my plan. Is I'm going to go down and eat a big ass dinner.
Come on.
Yeah, I don't like this, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, come on.
Jeffrey always bringing the heat, but today he's talking about 34-14 49ers.
I can't feel it.
Against his defense?
I don't want that negativity in my life. And I don't want it in your life, okay?
Like I just don't. I keep telling myself like, Eagles can't. Jeff says, "I hope I'm not wrong."
He hopes he's wrong. Yeah.
Shout out to.
I hope you are too, son.
Shout out to John. What's up, John?
Hey, John.
Good to see you. John's always bringing the heat in the comments. I think internally you talk to yourself and you say, "Hey, these Eagles can't lose again like they did previous week."
I just think like the key matchups, it's going to be like the Rams game. Like you can't lose on these crossing routes and the motions because like Robert Woods and Cup, it's going to be like Deebo Samuel and Ayuk who are even more athletic. Like these guys are going to be going across the middle of the field, and you don't want Nathan Gary to be picking up one of them. Like you want LeBlanc or you want Coleman or one of them carrying them because like Deebo Samuel and Ayuk are going to be getting jet sweeps. They're going to be getting orbit screens, and like you got to be talking out there. Like you got to be ready, like because those guys can go from anywhere on the field and score, and that's the big thing.
Do you think that the Eagles are capable of transitioning, making those transitions to cover this offense as it comes?
I think they do. I think the big thing they need to realize is, yes, George Kittle's back, but George Kittle had this type of injury last year when he missed time, and it took him, I think, 2-3 games to really get going. Like, George Kittle's George Kittle. He's phenomenal. But you need to understand, you're getting George Kittle that hasn't played in, 2.5 weeks? And I feel like we do fairly well against a tight end, minus when Nathan Gary is covering Tyler Higbee.
Yeah.
That's a goddamn disaster.
Yeah, because that was just that wasn't even covering him because Drew Sample, he had a good week 2, and then he had a decent week 3. I mean, no, he's having a good day today, but by God, Nathan Gary could not cover that Higbee at all, and that's the thing though. Like Kittle, like you need to bracket him. You have to play Kittle like they're gonna play Ertz. Because the thing is, Kendrick Bourne, he is what he is. He's not going to do anything special against us on the 49ers side. It's Deebo Samuel, Ayuk, and then Kittle. Like, that's really what it is.
Running back today? Because I know
they have Jeff Wilson Jr. and they have Jerick McKinnon. McKinnon's kind of like the Chris Thompson, like change of pace out of the backfield guy.
In the Vikings game.
Yeah, he's the one who smoked
Darby.
Yeah.
Well, good. He's not on the team anymore.
Yeah, but Jeff Wilson's a short down guy.
Shout out to David Johnson in chat, but he just hit me on. He's in the chat right now, but he hit me on Twitter and said, "Can we talk about Nate on the pre-show? He's going to cost us some plays."
Look at that, man! No one around him for 20 yards. Back to the quarterback.
Horrible.
He's not a good football player.
No,
like we can't expect him to be good at football because he's not supposed to be a starting linebacker.
Where's Prime at? We got to yell.
He should be like a
he was
freaking
a
special
safety
teams
drafted.
player. Yeah, I know. They were like, we think he's a linebacker. Well, you can't develop for shit. So let's just talk about that first. One other thing that I think we need to talk about, we can talk about it later,
so
but
bad.
We just got a wide receiver and called him a tight end.
Miles has that game. I like it. I like that, David Johnson.
We're just changing positions
He's
on these people.
completely capable of that. Like,
yeah, because Hakeem's a big target.
But like, what in this offensive line do you see that like? I just don't see them creating holes to allow for 161 yards.
Oh no, I completely agree with that. But I mean, what was that, Mr. Unlimited?
Mr. Unlimited.
His name's Mr. Unlimited.
He better stop doing that. Sierra's gonna leave him, but at the same time, he does have that money.
He is one corny ass dude, but
she's not gonna leave him.
I don't think she would either. I think after Future, she's looking for a corny ass dude like that.
Oh yeah.
I love how he's just so robotic and like on the field, he's like a surgeon.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
he's
good.
ridiculous, man.
Yeah, he is. He is crazy good. Soko, I want you to tell me there was a trade that went on in my league this week. I want to know if there's foul play because it feels like foul play. Okay.
All right.
So this happened. Someone traded Stephon Diggs and Patrick Mahomes for Kenyon Drake and Robert Woods. Do we have collusion in the league?
Collusion.
That's a terrible trade.
That is
all right.
The argument was that he has 2 top 5 quarterbacks. He has Mahomes
You can get more than that.
Josh Allen. That's exactly our point. We're like, you just gave him away. You gave the best player in the league away. And
I would
all
sell
you
on
got
Josh
was
Allen
Kenyon
and
Drake
keep
and
Mahomes.
Robert Woods.
So you're telling me after a 40-point drop that Mahomes had last week, because he had 40 points in pretty much every league.
Trade happened after that game. Correct.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're saying after a 40-point game that Mahomes is only worth Kenyon Drake and Robert Woods.
Right. And
that's collusion.
It's complete
That's
collusion,
crazy.
and he sent me a trade request. The guy who was dumping Mahomes, he sent me one earlier in the week, but I passed on it because like if I had a one-sided trade like that, I would have taken it. But he wanted Ezekiel Elliott, Chris Godwin, and Antonio Gibson for Corey Davis, Patrick Mahomes, and Zach Moss. I was like,
a hard no for me.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was like, I mean, Patrick Mahomes is great, but I'm giving up Zeke, Godwin, and Gibson for Mahomes, Davis, and Moss. That doesn't look.
What the hell is even that?
So then he ends up flipping Stephon Diggs and Mahomes for
It's all
Robert
right, dude.
Woods.
He got what was coming to him this week because Woods and Kenny and Drake combined only have like 6 points on the week.
And there goes Mahomes. Yeah, collusion. It smells
Collusion.
rotten.
That is rotten.
Yeah.
You know who else is rotten? The Cowboys are rotten.
Yes.
Yes, they are.
Actual.
They suck.
And you know what? You know
Man.
what's criminal is that they should be 0-4 so bad right now, man. Like,
Oh, yeah.
But
They
you also have to like.
Oh, come on,
think
John.
They should be better than they are.
John don't
because
play. John don't play.
Their
fantasy.
defense is terrible and their offense is so good.
They're giving up 43 points a game.
Their defense is horrendous.
It's atrocious. It's really atrocious.
It's worse than ours. And I think
Yeah.
You want to hear
ours is pretty
something
bad.
crazy, though? I honestly thought the Seahawks were going to be like a legit defense coming into this season. They have given up 497.3 passing yards per game. They've
Seattle?
almost given up
Yeah.
2,000 passing yards.
It just doesn't matter because their offense is so damn good.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
That's why it's like Eagles get it together. Like we have so many injuries, but like get it together because like if you win the division and you get into the dance, like anything is possible.
You have
And
a
Because
chance.
so many, there's
And you get
so
a
many
home team
dysfunctional teams.
Game, not
And
that home
as
match.
poorly as we started out, with as many holes as we have, with like I can't get over the fact of how in reach the division still is. It's not like we've set ourselves. It's not like we've dug ourselves in this crazy hole. We're in a tiny hole right now. We're in a ditch, but if we can turn it around, we can overcome it.
I wouldn't
in a
even
very
say we're in a
sad
ditch
ditch.
at this point. Like
Yeah.
we're in like a puddle at this point. Like we stepped in a puddle and our shoe got a little wet.
Yeah.
Mhm. I
Like,
just hope
if
that our
you-
guys feel that way. Like the players on the roster need to see that like this is very much in reach and not let the noise of all the injuries and all the other excuses that are, pouring in let
Well,
them
I want to know what your guys' thoughts were on like what Miles Sanders and other people alike when they had to say, pretty much to the effect of, "Oh well, if you're not rooting for us now, don't be rooting for us then when we win." Like, did you
doesn't
I
guys
make
hate
think?
this. I hate this. Like we're not rooting for you. We're just telling you how bad you actually suck right now. Like
Yeah, it's the
let's
wrong
be
way to
honest
look at
here.
it.
Who's looking at Carson Wentz and being like, "Yeah, you're $100 million quarterback"? No one. No one's saying that.
Right.
And I'm not gonna powder your ass and tell you that you're playing great either. You suck right now. All I'm telling you to do is get it together. I'm not saying I'm not rooting for the Eagles anymore.
Right.
I'm just saying that
it's
you
the wrong
suck at the
criticism.
moment.
It's the wrong criticism. Like
Go ahead.
if you want to say that the Eagles fans are being too harsh, okay. Maybe I understand that. But it's like if you're not a fan right now. Like we're not a fan if we're not even talking. Because if the Eagles fans aren't talking, that's a scary, scary state of the situation. Like we're still watching every game and going to tear into you every once in a while because we know you can play better.
You're
That's the
absolutely
truth.
right, Kelly.
Like
Well,
we
'cause-
are so harsh on Wentz because we've seen him play better.
yeah, when we reach the level of apathetic and people just check out and don't care
Yeah.
anymore, that's when they
Then-
should be panicking. Yeah.
That's when they can say, if you're not with us right now, then don't be with us when we're good.
Right.
All right,
That's
guys,
not the
yeah,
case.
the inactives just came out. Inactives: quarterback Nate Sudfeld, wide receiver Deshaun Jackson, wide receiver Alshon Jeffrey, wide receiver JJ Arcega-Whiteside, cornerback Avonte Maddox, DN Casey Toohill, and tight end Hakeem Butler. So it looks like
Dallas
it's going to be the
Goedert
Richard
is on
Rodgers
IR.
and
Old Dick.
yep,
Dick Rogers.
yep.
Damn.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm not
Those are
surprised at
players?
any of that.
Those are players.
They play
Hey,
football.
yo, underdog role. I'm taking underdog role any day with this team because I feel like that's the role that they hold to their heart when they're the injured, sick dog. You can't. They always say don't kick an injured dog, sick dog, because that dog will bite. You're hoping that the hungry dogs or injured dogs run faster tonight, and that's the only thing I can think of. Because when you downplay this team, that's when they play up. When you if we're bragging about them like, yo, we're gonna win, they don't win. They gotta lose something. They gotta be disrespected. I don't know what kind of speech Doug Peterson has. I'm trying to figure out what would he be saying to the team right now. Like,
I hope that they have that graphic of the Sunday Night Football with Nick Mullins as the graphic instead of Carson Wentz up on as like billboard material.
But
I think they were playing all the home teams though. Like that's why that was the situation.
They said it was the home teams, but the NFL knows exactly what they're doing when they put that out. They know it's going to get people talking. They did that on purpose. So I don't care, even if it is the home team, if they did that on purpose. I would tell my graphic designers, put that graphic up. Everyone's going to get fired up, pissed off. So they did it on purpose.
Yeah. I think that the Eagles are the type of team that you're like totally okay with them being the underdog, like in a way that them saying these kinds of things on social media, like if you're not a fan now, don't be a fan later. They have confidence in themselves. They must be, because they're talking a lot of shit. They better back it up. I swear. If they don't show it, every single week they say we're ready on Twitter, and I'm
Miles said we're getting a dub.
show it.
Miles said it.
It really seems like Eagles players only make that mistake one time, because I'm not sure if you guys remember, but I remember Lane Johnson a few years ago. He had said that it's really hard to play in front of the Eagles crowd. Like home games feel like away games when the Eagles play bad because all the fans are booing them, all that. And Eagles fans let him have it after those comments. And I don't recall him saying anything to that effect since. So I go ahead.
Do you think that Doug makes that decision to tie the game last week if the Eagles fans are in the stands right there?
Oh, yeah.
You think that he would go for the tie?
Yeah.
No,
no.
He's going for the win. He's going for the win.
I'm saying if the fans are in the stadium.
We're bullying the shit out of them.
Yep.
Go for the win.
It really is. I do really think it is a factor of what's going on. Like, I don't
hold them.
It makes a difference for sure.
I know.
So this is pretty weird. My one friend works on the sideline for the Eagles, and he said when Doug decided to punt, he turned around and looked at the press box, and he looked at Jeffrey Lurie. He said Jeffrey Lurie was like this. His son was like this, and then Harry Roseman was like this in the corner away from Jeffrey Lurie and his son. And he was just like, dude, like, he's like,
what a decision.
My friends worked there for over a decade. He's like, I haven't seen them like that. Maybe since Chip Kelly, like the Chip Kelly and when Andy got fired. He's like, they just look like so pissed. And like the distance between like Howie and them was just like vastly, like it was crazy.
What do you think they were talking about in practice today?
He has no room.
What do you think they were talking about in practice?
What, when they were going back and forth?
Yeah, Doug Peterson and Howard Roseman were talking.
We're not a very good football team.
They're not going to talk about like the shit that went bad during the game outside in front of the press. Like that's a fact.
You guys feel that 0-2-1 is better than 0-3? My OC
honestly, I hated when the tie happened. I absolutely hated it. It felt like a loss that entire game. The fact that we got dominated by the Bengals just made it feel like that much more of a loss. But ultimately, the way this division is playing right now, that tie could come in handy later on in the season and could ultimately be the thing that gets us over the top and win the division.
I absolutely hated the tie. But the reason that I have some hope coming into week 4 is the way that Wentz played the last portion of that game. Like, I don't think he played great, but he let the defense break down in a way that he could ran the football in for a touchdown to tie it up. He took the plays when they came. So I have some confidence in him that they got into field goal position and they were supposed to win that game. And the team failed him in that sense because Matt Pryor should be getting a lot more shit for that false start. Like, we should have just kicked that.
I think
and won.
statistically it's better,
So
but
brutal. So brutal.
Yeah.
I think statistically it's better. It's just very frustrating as a fan to watch. I absolutely love that we're a win away from first place, but at the same time, like, you still haven't won a game. It's just frustrating to see a tie whenever you haven't won.
And we tied the Bengals.
I guess I should say that.
And plus, on top of that, just as a nitpicking thing, I got to say 3 digits instead of 2 whenever I'm talking about the Eagles record. Like, just total pain in my ass.
Oh my gosh. It's the worst.
Now, AJ on Facebook, shout out to AJ, Voice of an Angel. You'll hear her on Philly Airways on radio stations, always calling with good questions and answers. But today, it's just getting OC, you dum-dums.
Absolutely.
I agree.
We're all on a board.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, though.
Go.
There's no offensive coordinators in the college leagues that you could call up. Like, there are some teams that are just not playing this year because of COVID. Like, bring an offensive mind from the college ranks.
Okay,
Get this thing started. Like,
let's bring in some
making
names.
Creative calls.
Let's bring in some names.
I mean, Mike was talking about it earlier. It's just like Doug likes to play call, but like it's obviously not working. So this week, all I did was listen to I listened to Chris Long's podcast. I listened Jaworski, and they were just saying like the reason why 2017 was so successful was because that quarterback room, he said, was one of the best he's ever seen or like talked to. Jaworski's like, yeah, like when you talk to them, like those guys went down the line and they made sure that Nick and Sudfeld were just as prepared and had just as much input as Carson did. Like Nick would say, hey, I did this at Arizona. I did this at Kansas City. Like I did this at like when I was on the Rams, and like this is what I like. Maybe Carson will like it. And like there was just so many different things. Now, instead of like, it just seems like there's almost too many voices, and none of the voices are the right one. Like Scangarello's in there, Marty Morningway, who I thought was going to help a lot because he made Vic look great, is in there. But it's the same offense. I get it. The line's hurt, and the offensive players are hurt too. And that's why like it's so difficult to talk about this team and make any sense of it, because not only are we missing players, not only is the play calling skeptical at times, Carson Wentz isn't playing well either. Maybe it's like a symptom of that. Like maybe he isn't liking the way that he's being coached. Maybe Press Taylor's not in his ear and pushing him enough, because that's what Jaworski said. He said he liked DeFilippo because Carson probably thought he was an asshole a lot of the time, but like he pushed him. He wasn't his friend. He was his coach. And that's why I said Press Taylor and Carson get along really well. But like I haven't seen Carson improve at all since Press Taylor's taken over as the quarterback's coach.
Improve? He's regressed.
That's which is crazy because it makes you wonder. What's up, Jimmy? Like, do you bring in like a Dan Orlovsky? Do you bring in like a former quarterback that might be able to be at practice, not even as a coach, but like just as like a consultant that stands there like, hey Carson, and he's like, you're not turning your back foot. You're not doing that. And little things. And Carson, oh really? Like I never really noticed that. And then he starts doing it, and then things feel different. Because if you watch Carson Wentz's feet, it's not good right now. Screen passes, anything
He's
like
throwing jump shots.
So Carson Wentz, it's amazing, is better with pressure on him than without pressure. Like empty pocket, like he has happy feet right now. So it just makes you wonder, like, are they going over? Not like there's a difference from like like from listening and hearing. Like, is he listening and is he hearing? And are they is he taking the input and is it good input? Because everyone knows, like Chris Long said, he's like, listen, I'm a Nick Foles guy. Like I played with him on St. Louis. I love him. And he goes, but Carson Wentz, he goes, if you can't start the conversation off by acknowledging that Carson Wentz is an elite talent, he goes, I can't have a conversation with you. He's like, Carson Wentz is an elite talent. And that's why everyone's frustrated, because he's playing so poorly right now. But obviously it's there. And that's why it blows my mind that everyone just wants to give up on him, because like
I think it's hard to say elite. Like I went into the season hoping that he would be elite, and I'm he's the thing is Carson set the bar for me to even think elite. So when he comes to the table this year and puts up what he's done, elite quarterbacks don't have bad games like
You just got to worry whether the injuries have caused him to have this regression.
I just
it's a weird gray area.
What happened? Like if we look back at other quarterbacks who were injured, like maybe like Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers had a bad season when he
Ben Roethlisberger, his 5th year, he only had 18 touchdowns and like 17 interceptions. So that's like the thing, though. It's a lot of recency bias because everyone sees the nice shiny thing. You see Kyler Murray going off, you see Josh Allen going crazy, and then you're like I want that. And then you see Nick Foles win last week, and now Nick Foles sucks today.
He's struggling, yeah.
That's what I mean. It's just like you can't. I almost want to double down on Carson more than get away from him. It's like, listen, I get it. It sucks right now, but you can't just give up on the guy. People, you can completely.
But they do need to be creative.
You can shit on him and be like, dude, just throw the ball, complete a pass, do something. But
the Eagles' offense is not cutting it right now. Wentz is
have some fun. Get Hurts out there. Literally pitch the ball to Hurts and let Hurts throw. Help him get out of him.
Do you think that would help Carson's confidence?
I don't want a quarterback that has that week of I don't want a quarterback that has that week
I agree.
of a mentality. I know people are like, oh, well, that Hurts draft pick must have really hurt his confidence. Bro,
look at Aaron Rodgers.
$100 million confidence.
Yeah.
Look at Green Bay.
Hear it. I don't want to hear you. You don't like that they took a 2nd-round quarterback. You were paid to be the guy.
Yeah,
do it.
Now we were talking about offensive coordinators, and throwing some names out there. And David Johnson always bringing some heat to the table. He says, "I would say Philly throws the king ransom at
Lincoln Riley.
Get him to try and innovate Philly's offense."
That's what my brother wants to do really bad. My brother really wants Lincoln Riley.
But
I wouldn't mind it.
He'd probably want to be a coach after seeing.
He'd want to be a head coach, if anything.
You know what I mean?
You get yourself in the door in an organization where you think that you could make the most impression.
Hey, Jimmy,
right now,
you have any OC ideas?
It's here.
Oh, damn. Jimmy just
he didn't want to talk about that, man. He said, I'm out.
Wentz needs Mamba mentality.
I just want him to have the mentality he had going into his sophomore season. I don't even need Mamba mentality because that's incredible. I need him having the mentality of, I'm going to take the plays as they come. And I saw that from him in the very end of the game last week, which I feel like is why I'm wearing his jersey tonight. I feel like he could see the field a little better. He ran a little bit more than he has in the past few games / last season. Let's see him really push this offense when there's not much.
How much do you think is?
Jimmy, you got booted last time. I asked you a question. Any OC ideas if you had to be forced to bring one to the table?
Eric Bieniemy. But I think he'll be a head coach next year. You talking about right now?
Be a head coach.
That is correct.
I like that. I mean, I've been asking for him. You know how long I've been following Eric Bieniemy since he was like a running back in Colorado.
So what we'll do is every 3 years we'll just take the Chiefs offensive coordinator and make them the head coach.
Yes.
Deal.
I mean, it's funny how people were like
I'm
downplaying the Frank Reich idea and what Frank Reich brought to the offense. And I'm like, did you not see how we struggled in first quarters over the last 2 years?
But the thing is that a lot of people didn't want to give that credit right away.
I don't know why they didn't want to.
I know, and that was whenever you bring up was Frank Reich maybe the thing that helped that offense click and really understood the type of positions Carson Wentz needs to be put in, and you look at what Doug Peterson has done since the Super Bowl year and after losing Frank Reich, and Carson and Doug don't seem to have that same connection anymore. I don't think they're vibing the same way.
Jeremy says no love for Deuce.
What has he done? Our offense stinks.
for the heart of the deuce.
We've got like I'm not like hard on our running backs. I like Miles Sanders. I like Boston Scott behind him. Corey Clement is an afterthought right now.
I think we really need a running back too, but
yeah, but I don't know.
You really want to have Boston Scott holding the rock like every other play?
No.
I'm just saying, like our roster selection is a little questionable.
It's just frustrating, man. It's
says Evan Johnson. Evans get mad.
It's okay. We're all mad.
Yeah.
That's why they're questioning whether we're fans.
People don't give respect to Deuce a lot. A lot of people just gloss over Deuce like he could never ever, see like dude, like.
But like, what's he doing?
He's not the one that decides whether we throw it 50 times a friggin' game.
Agree with that.
He probably.
I want to know how much, because like Doug in his last press conference, he talked about how he likes being in control and like doing the play calling, and he never even really ever considered giving any of those duties up. I want to know, like, other than just rotating the running backs, like, what is Deuce doing that is going to make you think that he's worthy of being that offensive coordinator? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's nothing, there's no spark in this offense that's telling me that any of these guys that are contributing to scripting these offenses is good at all.
Yeah, Doug's not adjusting. Whoever has a voice isn't adjusting. They're not doing anything. It's crap. That's what we're seeing. So, yeah, I mean, you need some kind of change. Well, I didn't know what the question was for this year. Not bad.
No, I'm just thinking, like, after a while, the plays get old. Like, you get figured out after a while. Like, we're 3 years removed from the Super Bowl, 18, 16, and 1, since with one playoff win. I think you have to start looking at some things. You have to start looking at our tendencies. You got to look at, even the way that some guys were like lining up. A lot of things are predictable with the offense. And then again with Richard Sherman would always tell you about like Carson Wentz and Zach Ertz. Everybody in the whole league knows where Carson wants to go. They bracket Zach Ertz and make you go somewhere else. If you're trying to go somewhere else with like guys like Ward out there, like John Hightower this first game.
Are you guys thinking Doug panics? That's what AJ's thrown out in the chat. It says Doug's panics, not good. Do you think that he gets panicky?
I think so with the decision he made last week.
He made that decision to go for fourth down against the Redskins or football team. That fourth down, like, didn't even make sense to me because we were up at the time.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes he goes for that fourth down and I'm like, okay, he must be confident in the team. And then like last week, he freaking doesn't even try to kick the ball or go for it on fourth down when the game's on the line.
Yeah.
Like some of the things he does is just like for the reason to say he has the balls to do it. But like, does he?
Yeah.
Is he just reckless with his decision making?
Could he be just doing that just to try and prove that he does have the big cojones that we talk about?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like nobody follows Doug with a wheelbarrow carrying his nuts anymore. It doesn't happen anymore.
No.
He lost them. He needs to get those back. But it's like he has to have the right decision making in those fourth down plays. Like, one, we just need to put ourselves in better positions to not have to go for it on fourth down. I don't want to have to go for it on fourth down. It gives me a lot of gray hairs. It doesn't look good.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are a team that is significantly pushing the ball down the field on first down, making it shorter for your second and third down, you don't have to put yourself in that position. Like, be effective on offense. Call the plays to put your team in the best position and your quarterback in the best position so that he can convert.
Now, let me ask you guys this, because I'm curious to all your answers. Do you think Carson is confident in the game plan that Doug is drawing up? Or do you think that he is not exactly confident?
Wrong.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I don't think that it's the play calling. I think it's whether he trusts the guys he's throwing to right now.
I feel like he can't be because I was talking to JT about this. Like, it starts in when you're young, when you're in high school and college. Like the first 2 drives, and sometimes even the first quarter is scripted. We know that. That's how Andy Reid did it. It's scripted. We saw it against Washington week 1. Carson Wentz looked like the best version of Carson Wentz ever to start that game. It was amazing the first 20 minutes of that game, and then it fell apart. And then since then, everything's just been so just choppy. We're not successful on first down. Third down, it's always third and long. So it's tough to say if he's confident in the game plan or not because he's not playing with confidence. Is that a personal thing with him? And maybe it's with the game plan, but I don't know. That's a good question, Ed. It's really tough to say either way.
Yeah, because I'm sitting here thinking, I'm just does Carson actually believe in this vanilla ass bullshit that they're wheeling out there? And then on top of that, another thing that I'm really scared about is that, okay, our offense, we all see with our eyes that this super duper vanilla and very predictable. And now Doug is saying that we're going to dumb it down even more. So what's that going to look like? Vanilla without the bean?
It's apparently going to be very exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be dumbed down from vanilla, but more exciting. That doesn't add up on my calculator.
I agree.
Yeah, there's definitely a disconnect between the two of them. I don't really know what's going on. It seems to be not just between the two, Carson and Doug, but the whole organization with people, just I don't know, not getting Carson weapons, not adding the right pieces around for depth. We talked about adding a running back 2 for weeks and weeks before the season began. So here we are with the problems that we talked about, and it just I'm over talking about it and being pissed off because it's like, damn, dude, you saw it from a mile away. Yeah, here we are.
Yeah,
don't know how to fix it, man. And you talked about Ertz being the key. What we have, they practice against George Kittle every week. So I mean, it's gonna be an interesting one.
Certainly is. Are you? I'm guessing you're nervous about our linebackers versus Kittle being good to go this week.
Of course, and safety's trying to help, and everybody just trying to do their best against Ayuk and Deebo Samuel back. Of course, great timing. So Jerick McKinnon out of the backfield as well. Some people that I think we're going to have an issue covering, and we are going to need our offense, and that's pretty scary to me as well. So got to establish the run. Got to use Mile actually in every facet of the game. Let's hope Adrian Killen, somebody had talked about, this week, actually being brought up. And sure enough, he did. A guy that can actually play receiver, running back, and return the ball. So not saying he has a huge game, but look for the kid to maybe give us a little assistance here because we need all the playmakers we can get. And we need Doug to get creative, like you guys were just saying.
Big time.
I saw the comment said Greg Ward maybe throw a pass. Jalen Hurts, Gail had mentioned. Come on, let's go, Doug. Bring back the wheelbarrow.
Yeah.
2020 has a question on YouTube. He says the question: would this season taint Lurie or Roseman's view of Carson that next season he could go on a 3-game implosion and torpedo a season?
He said taint.
Taint no stopping us. Okay.
Well,
season if you go. Yeah, I mean, the way that Carson started off this season, and then if that downward trend continues, how can you not? I mean, where do you draw the line? Eventually, you have to shake up the room. If Carson he's not going to go out there and stink for 16 games this season.
This game is so important, right? To get him back on the right path.
track.
Yeah. If he fucks up tonight, this is now everybody. This is prime time. Everyone's watching this game, and it's going to be on blast. And you think it was worse last week? It's going to be worse.
This week by a
you
lot.
thought it was worse already. I mean, imagine if he lays an egg this tonight.
He needs to go all out.
He's got to I hope he jumped in the lake of Minnetonka and baptized himself.
Yeah.
Came out let's go. Because a lot of us
have fun, man.
A lot of us are Carson Wentz fans. We support him and everything, and we have not stood by him for the last couple weeks. We've kind of separated ourselves because you're like, I can't even believe what I'm seeing. You're like, I'm so disgruntled, disappointed. Like, what happened?
It's like the first Men in Black when an alien came out of the sky and just took over somebody's body. He's just someone else. Like, who is this person right now?
I think he's got a lot going on, man. I really do, and I think that's a good thing for us. I don't think it means that he's ruined and that it's over for him. I think there's hope for him, and I'm still hopeful. And I know there's crap around him right now, but let's see what he does.
But to answer, I'll answer it. So to answer David's question, we are going to be going live post game after the game, right after. So be sure to check out. Hopefully, it's positive conversation.
And the post game has been really like live the last couple weeks. Like we had to like just stop, like because we could go on like for an hour and a half, 2 hours. There's so many people in the chat, so I feel like it's like I mean, this is what it's for people to vent and actually just be a part of the show
or celebrate. Hopefully, celebrate.
What's up, Ron?
What's up, fellas?
Yo.
And the crazy
on,
thing, though, creative wise, is like the Browns were kicking the shit out of the Cowboys, and then you see Jarvis Landry do a trick play and throw the ball to OBJ, and then you see OBJ get a jet sweep and score. It's like Kevin Stefanski is like, this dude is not scared. Like, he gets it. He's like, they're 2-1, but like they saw the Cowboys come back on the Falcons, and Stefanski's like, I'm not letting that happen. Like, I want to see that with Doug. Like, dude, if we get up in the game, like be like aggressive that way. Like, do something different. Like, I get it. Like, if you have a lead, you can just keep on just like running the ball. But it's like, do something creative, man. Like if you want to get Hurts out there, get Hurts out there. Get creative. Like, I want to see Adrian Killins and all these guys get involved with the game. Like, it's just the same tired stuff. Like, that's what I hate. Like, I was talking to my friends about like watching the Eagles. Like, when we do something good, it's not even like you don't even feel happy because it's like that shouldn't, like, you should feel like that like every couple plays. It's like every quarter you get maybe 1 or 2 plays that you're like excited about. It's like, Carson ran the ball for like 20 yards. It's like, dude, like Josh Allen does that like every 5 fucking seconds.
You're absolutely right, Chris. There is that feeling of like whenever the Eagles actually do something good, like it's almost like we get annoyed at them. We're like, all right, well, why have you been doing this all game?
They're just
like, where has this throw been? You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, and I'm not saying that if you do that, you're wrong necessarily, because we all know that the Eagles are better than what they've been playing and what they've been showing us. So like, I understand why everybody's getting frustrated, but you're absolutely right. It's hard to even cheer when they do well.
Now, going around the room, who are your breakout? Who do you think is going to be the surprise player for the Eagles tonight that breaks out?
I'm going dude. I think Adrian Killins is going to be a really big factor in the game. Like, I think Burnett is going to be really good too, but because dude, Burnett has more catches in last week's game than I think JJ Arcega-Whiteside had in the last 400 snaps. So I'll take it. But I think Adrian Killins is going to be a huge Swiss Army knife. Like, I think like we're going to forget who Boston Scott, Corey Clement, and all these other guys are. Because I think, dude, Killins is – I think he's going to make a big difference. They're going to use him in the slot. I think he's going to be in the backfield. He might – like, dude, how come we can't see Hurts just get a direct snap or like Rager or something like that and just run the ball? Like,
I mean, if you've seen any of his runs, like if he finds a crease, he's gone. So I mean,
even up the middle, like I would literally just do an arrow route, like from like the slot and just take it because dude, none of their linebackers are going to be able to cover him. I don't know. I think I'm really excited to see Killins because Mike said it, like he had a good camp and there's a reason why they want him on the practice squad still.
Yeah, I have 2. Oh, go ahead.
Tom, who you got?
I think Hightower is going to go ahead and actually play a big game tonight.
We need Hightower, boy. We need him to step up for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jimmy, who you got?
Well, when I hopped on, I said Killins because I'm with Chris on that one. I think that, that's a guy all week I was really crossing my fingers for to get brought up. And, he's going to be someone I hope gets used. But if we're already going with that one, I'll say maybe Strap. let's get some Strap out there. We're gonna need him
He's
to
gonna
step
be huge.
up. So let's have a big game for Strap today.
So it's a lot of killing me softly up in here.
Yeah.
But I think I'm thinking of someone. I mean,
Yeah, they just said Ramsey and Golden Tate just got in like a fist fight in the middle of the field.
No way.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
I'll
It
let you know.
was pretty testy between Aaron Donald and Gaze as well earlier in the game.
Yep.
Adam Gase, the coach.
Yeah. No. Gaze their what's he their defensive end or defensive tackle. Gaze and from New York and Aaron Donald from Rams.
Okay, that's interesting.
Um,
I wouldn't be messing with Aaron Donald.
Yeah, he actually face mugged them and everything. It was pretty shocking that he went at Aaron Donald like that.
Who do you like, Ev?
That was gonna be mine. I was gonna say Greg Ward. I think ends up having a decent game today. He's going to be heavily relied on. I just see him getting high volume. And to be honest with you, another guy who I don't think is going to be a game changer per se, but definitely have an impact on the game. Good old Dick Rod. I think Richard Rodgers can show up today, and with Goddard being out,
maybe
I think he gets some play.
Yeah. I mean, we need it's at this point in time, it's like anybody. We need anyone.
Hakeem Butler.
But when Richard Rodgers comes in, honestly,
They sat him, Jimmy.
He ends up making catches.
I mean, but at the end of the day, this guy always comes up with plays.
Yeah.
I mean, Greg, every time you.
I love Greg Ward, man.
Greg Ward
Yeah, he should have a big game.
Greg Ward just shows up every time that he's expected to. Like he just makes the catch.
Dude, the thing with Greg Ward is that he's so good against zone coverage because he was a quarterback. So he literally knows exactly how defenses are going to play him, and he just stops. Like that's the one thing our guys don't do. They'll keep running towards defensive backs. We're like, dude, stop! Literally, just stop. Like Wentz has the chemistry with Ward that like. If the route's 15 yards, he'll literally snap it off at 12, turn around, catch it, and try to make a move or fall. Like that's what like some of the other guys don't get yet. Like some of the younger guys, they'll literally just run the route no matter what, even though they're running right to someone. And Ward comes back too for the ball when Wentz is in trouble.
Yep.
So this list right here, shout out to I believe Patrick on Twitter, Patrick PMC, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
He posted this chart of like all the wide receivers that Wentz has thrown to. Like, look, if you're looking at the Aguilar, Paul Turner, Josh Huff,
sad.
Bryce Treggs, 2017, which was the most successful year. Aguilar, Jeffrey, Smith, Hollins. I mean, I have this other stat here about shout out to Jake Taraska. It's at Jake_Taraska, TARASKA. Eagles Carson Wentz has played with 20 wide receivers in his career. 10 of them are no longer in the NFL. Djax has missed the last 16 to 20 games. Alshon has missed the last 10 of 20 games. Greg Ward is his best wide receiver so far. He threw to Aguilar and Golden Tate. The other 5 have a combined 25 career catches.
Yeah, and I mean, and you look at all these players year after year. 2017 is really the only year I look at on here where he had 2 legit outside threats, and that allowed the entire middle of the field to eat between Nelson Aguilar in the slot and Zach Ertz that year. So that just goes to show, like, you have 2 outside wide receivers. It goes a long way.
Man, did we lose Jimmy?
I think he just made the update on our page.
Jimmy?
He's
up.
Todd, we are definitely not a wide receiver factory.
We're not.
I wouldn't even say we're a QB factory at this point. Yeah.
I'm just thinking about how many wide receivers they've missed on, and
don't do that.
You'll be up someone just posted in here.
Someone did?
Someone just posted. Here it is. Yep. DK Metcalf.
Yeah, I
4 receptions, 106 yards.
I look at that, and he's like they talk about him stretching the field, and he's like a field stretcher. He's a monster. He's a mismatch. Like He's a speed guy too. Like really?
Yep.
That shit's gonna to this day
Strength.
piss me off so much just to hear that we picked JJ over this
Yeah,
guy.
like we talked about for years, drafting Brandon Graham over Earl Thomas. This one hurts worse, man, for sure.
Bro, that's painful, bro. It's painful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I wasn't here for that.
I have I think I have video of me when we were on the board at the time. Wait, I'm gonna bring that up. I get a second.
I'm on the edge of my seat right now.
Are you? Is that exciting stuff?
Man.
Gotta win tonight.
I mean, like it can't get any more like I'm not saying easier for us, but I mean like it's just in our favor with all the losses that the rest of the division is having. It's just like we can't take advantage for shit.
Starts tonight, man. If they don't do it tonight, then
We got no choice but to do it tonight.
yeah.
Prime, I'm digging the breast cancer awareness month.
Yeah, thank you.
Have you got going on?
Yeah, shout out to all the breast cancer
survivors and anyone that's battling it. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll throw one.
Crucial catch for the month.
I got the pink headband.
There you go.
Throw the pink headband on.
You were up for a second with your helmet. Did you still?
Yeah, I have the helmet. I'm actually upstairs babysitting the kids right now. wife is out shopping, getting some food for the game tonight.
Hold on 1 second.
Dude, I'm still thinking about that cheesesteak. If I'm being real right now, can't get it out of my head.
Don't you have a photo of it, don't you?
Jimmy, you happen to catch that, bro?
Jesus
I did
Christ!
not.
Hold on 1 second. Now I got to take this comment, man. Look at that, man. Then he got some Parmesan on top of that. Threw it in the oven.
I didn't go for cheesesteaks. Trying to break the curse today.
So, what's the vibe in the man cave right now, Prime? Happy vibes, poor vibes.
Nah, not poor. Just like I said, it's on standby right now. I'm upstairs with the kids and the man cave is ready. I think Trox is on his way over here.
Oh, nice.
Come and watch the game with us. But here's the helmet that you guys were asking about.
Very nice. That's solid.
All right, I found the video.
Oh,
yeah.
Gail's still looking for the video over there.
Okay. It's always good to have reactions.
Gail, we're on the clock.
This is at 53.
What's going to happen here? I don't know, man. I mean, there's a lot of talent on the board. There's a lot of options. Let me tell you something about DK Metcalf because I wasn't high on him. But to get him here, he's a vertical threat. But, talking about safeties, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is very salary right now. On the board. He can play slot. He can play single high. I think he's going to be the pick right here, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Juan Thornhill still on the board. Yeah. And we got edge guys, too. Edge guys. Jalen Ferguson, Zach Allen. Winovich is still on the board. Yeah, and then we got the running backs. Miles Sanders. We got Montgomery. Daryl Henderson. Devin Singletary. A.J. Brown just went. A.J. Brown just went, which is a shame. Because we were... Yeah. We'll see how long this goes. Another thing that could be possible, they might trade back for one of these picks. Yeah. Because they spent 2 to move up 3 spots last night. So maybe you try to trade back, get a pick in the 3rd round. We'll see, get extra ammunition. Because you're looking at 53 and 57. If they make these 2 selections, I don't think they're picking against it. They're not going to trade up in the 3rd round. I think if they want to try and flip a player, a la like a Jernigan, like a couple years back, that would be great in the second pick. It's like if Aguilar. There are only a couple picks out of the 3rd, but they're picking at 57. Yeah, we'll see what we got. They're still on the clock. Like 57 to like 1. forget what 130 was. So what's our second pick? Our first fourth round we traded with the 127 pick.
Yeah.
So I mean that's a lot of picks for Howie not to have a selection.
Have to make up for it.
You know, but it's all about getting impact players though.
Yeah. Well, that's what it's all about there at the first round there. And, Andre Dillard, hey, he was a top 10 talent for them. Listen, I didn't hate the pick, all right? I didn't hate the pick. I know you guys thought I hated the pick. I didn't hate the pick. You can do a film study on him, look at the guy. So, all right, we're going to find out here temporarily what the Eagles are going to do. And pick is in. Pick is in. Let's see what it is. Jesus. See, they say the pick is in, but then you still gotta wait like 3 minutes.
It's like a slow death.
We'll see here.
I mean, we're talking about like
Mac Wilson's still on the board too.
The biggest thing was like, for running backs, it's like I want the Eagles to actually make it a priority. Like you can wait.
Yeah.
Here comes.
I mean, there's a lot of backs on the board.
I mean, the fact that Miles Sanders is on the board, he was my number one guy, not Josh Jacobs. I wouldn't hate that. I wouldn't hate Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. I wouldn't hate DK Metcalf. There's a lot of talent on the board right now. They really can't screw this up. You really can't.
But they did.
You're going to get two good players right now. Seriously.
Yeah. No, I'm just like, yo, geeks. You have these moments where you're like,
we talked about it. We got that little intense anxiety. We saw the Eagles run the clock. Yeah. Only true Eagles fans will understand that feeling. Yeah, like you were saying, Christmas Day. This is Christmas weekend. Because they stretch it out to 3 days now. You get 3 days to open up presents.
Look how happy you guys were. I missed that.
And you got a sweater.
We're still waiting.
DK Metcalf is on.
Terrible Christmas.
I think it's going to be.
It's going to shock the world. Go running back here.
I think it's going to be Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. We'll see. What's your pick? Who you got?
Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders?
Does the pick ever get made?
Right now.
There it is! All right, you called it. You called it. Well, here's my number one back. I love it.
How excited we were. But then it got to that point where I was like 57 and he's still on the board. I don't want to bore everyone, but we have a game in like less than an hour. And Eagle fans are still hyped.
A primetime game.
Missing on draft picks. That's where we are as a fan base at the moment. You know what I mean?
I mean, when we're having a season like the one that we're having, everybody just wants to look for a place to point the finger. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it comes down to. If the Eagles were like just blowing up and doing extremely well and leading the NFL in any statistical category, people wouldn't be talking about that. They'd be talking about all of the strengths that we have. The Cowboys better watch out. That'd be the conversation. But we're stuck with guys we should have drafted because our team sucks.
Yes.
It's just so many years combined, man, of just missing on the draft picks. And that's why people go nuts. And I was saying earlier, that's why I was optimistic, because I was dude, we keep on making the playoffs. We won a Super Bowl, even with all the draft whiffs. So you just think dude, if we finally hit on some guys, Mike was saying, day 3, we did really well. But he even said, dude, Davion Taylor was not on anyone's board until the 6th or 7th round. And then he even said that Hurts wasn't even supposed to go to the 4th round. I think Hurts probably would have got drafted in the 3rd maybe. But it just makes you wonder, just I don't know, man. It's frustrating because I'm super into the draft, so it's just frustrating. I try not to do revisionist history because you'll drive yourself crazy. But I mean, we're about to see how these young guys do.
But I mean, if we're saying it, DK Metcalf is on the board, we're saying it strongly, dude, why aren't you going here? The other thing I kept on going through my head is if Eagles went DK Metcalf and then with the third pick they went Miles Sanders. Would Miles Sanders be? That would. I mean, imagine if you got DK Metcalf and then you got Miles Sanders a couple picks back. I mean, come on. That's talk about transforming the offense.
Yeah.
And not even have to pay crazy
Anything.
money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you miss on that pick. Now you got to pay Djax. Now you got to like overpay and give Alshon money. Like
I think it's pretty frustrating how we don't just draft poorly, but we develop poorly as well. I mean, you look at all of the play, like the guys that end up leaving here, and like we've talked about it earlier today. You know, Russell Douglas was put in the wrong sort of scheme.
What's up, Ryan?
What's up?
What's up, Bri? How are you doing, man?
How's it going?
What's up,
Hey, what's up? Ready
Doing
for a
well.
win?
What up, Brad?
Yes,
What up?
that's the energy we need in this room right now, man. We need to bring the vibes up, go into this game hungry for a W. So what's up, man? You got a solid little man cave right there.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you can see everything. I got my little corner of man caveness. Guess you can call it.
Very nice.
This guy.
Yeah. Not bad. Be a lot bigger if I had more stuff, more room. So
I still have to get my my newspaper framed, the one with folds.
I got like I tried to frame them, but I mean I'm not that good. But I got like
there you go.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And then I don't know if this is rare, but I got this too. If you can see it, that one. I got that one.
Oh,
gorgeous. Your shit is pretty legit, dude.
Oh yeah, I try. Scour eBay for hours.
That room just gives me good vibes, man.
Hey,
reminds me of a simpler time.
Yeah. Every time we lose, I come here and just take a minute.
No. I mean, what's the vibe here in the room and in the chat? Like, how you guys feeling right now with the hour left to kick off?
The closer we get to kickoff, I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling more confident.
Are you?
I am. I've been pretty having a shitty attitude all day about how I feel about coming up to this game. But like maybe it's the Carson talk, man. I know that the Carson we know is still in that body. I know he is. I know he needs to turn it around. I know he knows that. So I'm praying that this is the game where we actually see it. And I'm feeling confident that he's going to come out hungry.
Me too, man. I'm just so excited for Carson to just shut people up because, like, it's so annoying after every game the last couple weeks. It's like I told you he sucks. It's like why are you so happy or excited about it, dude? We just fucking lost. Like, it's like, dude, like I get it. He sucks. Saying it a million times and tweeting about it and quote tweeting what you tweeted 2 days ago doesn't help the team.
Right.
Like, you want this guy to succeed. You want the team to succeed. Like, this is a huge opportunity, man. Like, he has 2 starting linemen. He has 1 semi-starting receiver. Like, if the dude balls out tonight, everyone shut up until next week. Because, like, dude, I've been waiting for this game because I just want him to get an opportunity to shut people up, ball out, and just make us proud again, man. It's like, it's just tough, man, this season.
Yeah, I feel like
I mean, we should end the broadcast on that note.
It's like about killing the noise, man. Like you gotta I mean, the only way that you shut Philadelphia media up, the only way you shut up the fans is playing well. And at the end of the day, he's got to play better. And all the Frank Reich talk, all the injury talk, that has nothing to do with ball placement. And he's been, if he would have hit on half of some of these throws, we could be sitting here with 2 dubs already. But again, you're just right now, it's spilled milk that we're sitting here talking about. Like, we're thinking about how we move forward. You know what I mean?
Kyle's throwing. What was that?
I said it in the best possible light.
Yeah. Kyle's trying to bring the room down, bro.
Put Kyle in the bathroom, man.
Dude, Kyle's foot's gonna be going through another laptop soon.
Oh, Kyle! This is the Kyle that broke the laptop.
Same Kyle.
At what point would you consider benching Wentz? Guys around the room?
In that case, I want Wentz to just shut Kyle up tonight.
Yes.
Kyle, he says he's a Wentz guy, but he's saying at what point? Sup, Jason? What's up, man? Welcome to the stream. At what point would you possibly consider benching Wentz if he laid another egg?
If he struggles all the way to the bye, I would probably say that there might be a possibility. I don't want to believe it because he's got to be our quarterback for the next couple of years. He's under contract, but maybe something just to scare him. They did that with McNabb. Reed did. I mean, you don't want to see it, but I mean, it is what it is. But I actually have to get rolling, gentlemen. That's my key to the game. Carson Wentz, pull your head out of your ass. Let's see the guy we know and love. I love you guys, and I'll hopefully talk to you after the game.
Take it easy, Jim.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Yeah, boys. I'm heading off too. Post game after the dub, I'll catch you guys. Drink some alcohol, throw in a water every once in a while. I'll catch you guys later. Enjoy the food.
Hydration formation. Thank you.
Later, boys. See you.
Later.
Be safe.
See ya.
I'm still thinking about that cheesesteak, dude.
Dude, I can't wait to go eat. Got some
Yeah,
at the Hearn House. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with German tradition. Pork and sauerkraut is a meal for good luck. You wouldn't expect it to be good. Let me tell you, it's fucking bomb, bro. It's
I've
bomb.
had that. Nice.
Pork and sauerkraut.
Yeah.
Good luck vibes going on around here.
Pork and sauerkraut.
Pork and sauerkraut.
What do you just eat pork and sauerkraut?
Yeah,
Nothing
some
else.
mashed potatoes. You have it cook in the crock pot all day. Shit's fire, bro.
Yeah, but is it?
Yeah, I could back that.
Is it as fire as this?
Not at all.
No, it's not.
No comparison.
I can't. How you're comparing? A Cadillac to a Tesla, man.
I mean, it was a great. It was a great idea at first, and then when he made it and I couldn't taste it, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And I haven't eaten dinner yet.
Yeah, and I like how it simply took that sandwich to get him up in Google as to be known as the king of sandwiches. Pork hole.
Love the pork roll.
Pork, nice.
J-Jaw got benched, huh? Fake injury.
What is up with him, dude? Like, what the hell is going on?
They need to pack his bags and send him like they did. Collins, man.
Is he actually hurt?
Like, no, man.
But do you guys think it's him
hearing,
or the team?
No, I'm hearing that he has problems. Like he's got like disputes with a lot of people on the team.
Who can he even have a dispute with at this point?
I have no idea, man. Like I'm not getting it. You're not running your routes. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. So I mean, who's it on you? I mean, who is it on you?
I mean,
what is it?
He was wide open on that Zach Ertz touchdown early in Washington.
Yeah. Would he have caught the ball?
He just hasn't been targeted at all. So it's like, okay, so like, do you guys even know how to utilize him? Like, I would be throwing him slants all day long.
Yeah, I get it.
Jump balls, but you never you think about it. We haven't seen a jump ball hardly at all in his whole career here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense.
The only one I can think of is the one that got ripped out of his hands versus Detroit, right?
Yeah. Other than that, you're like, that's where he wins. That's how I would use him. I wouldn't be sending him on deep routes or like he'd be a chain mover. That's it.
Yep.
I mean, Ron, what's your thoughts on J-Jaw?
I mean, I just don't understand that. Like during camp, he was like up here. Now he's just way down. Like I don't get how. Like I don't know if they were using him like you said differently during camp. Like he was like because they do a lot of red zone drills.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just purely dominating there.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're right. They were talking highly of him in camp. I remember that.
I mean, did you guys see the Ravens preseason? Go back and watch that with him, where he looked like he looked like he was dominating. Like I still have those like on my phone. I was just like, all right, yeah, this is cool. This is how you use him. He's coming back.
He looks so slow too. He looks so slow.
I mean, think about that catch that he had in the Giants at the end of the season. He made it a brilliant catch in that game. The Cowboys game.
Yeah, the Dallas one was pretty nice.
I don't know, man. I think J-Jaw is like a trigger word for people now. You say J-Jaw, you're like, I'm what did you say?
Mm-hmm. Like I said, it's become the worst version of BG over Earl Thomas.
Yeah. Now, if thinking about today, which Doug are we going to see? Good Doug or bad Doug around the room Evan, what do you think? Good Doug or bad Doug we see tonight?
I think Doug is feeling the pressure. He's feeling the heat. He knows that he can't come out with that vanilla bullshit. I think we see some scoops of some chocolate and strawberry in there, a little bit of diversity, and I think we're gonna see some good Doug tonight.
Prime, good Doug or bad Doug?
Yeah, I like the fact that you used the ice cream as
That's good.
We have no choice but to see a good Doug. I mean, Evan's right. The pressure's on him. He's got to get his shit together. He's got to coach these guys a whole lot better than he has been. And I mean, fuck, stop putting the blame. Let's stop with the blame game. Let's just get our shit together and let's go out here and get this W, man.
Good Doug or bad Doug, Ryan?
Praying for good Doug. I mean, Sunday Night Football, he's got to come. Like, they got to show up, and he's got to not run Miles Sanders 9 times for 40 yards and not run him again. So I'm hoping it's good Doug.
I'm watching Miles Sanders right now. I mean, he looks like he's game ready. I just hope that they utilize him the best today. I mean, you're right. If they got a game plan, stick with that game plan. If the running the ball is hurting them, then keep fucking hurting them and keep running the ball.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm going to say good Doug, bad Doug, I'm going good Doug. I think Doug has had his fair share of uncomfortable press conferences over the last couple weeks. He looks so out of place, like in the way he's choosing his words, the way he's describing the identity of his offense. And just I feel like the relationship with him and Carson, I'm sure they had like a heart-to-heart, and we're like, we got to get this. Me and you have to get this together. Like, it's between us, like the head coach, the offensive coordinator, and Carson to get this back on track. Let's see.
Yeah, and that's what I keep on thinking about when we had Mike Kay on earlier, and he was talking about the whole thing with Clayton Thorson and how like him just talking about how Clayton Thorson was the exact same size and build of Doug Peterson when he played. And it seemed like Doug was trying to make a prototype of himself. Do you think that Doug is essentially just trying to fit Carson, which is a square peg in a round hole? You think that that's what's going on?
I think he might have too much on his plate. You know what I mean? Like, that could be one of the things he's overthinking things. He's not in the right headspace.
Who are you saying has too much on their plate? Carson or Doug?
Carson. I mean, he literally said it out loud. Like, I got to dumb it down for him.
Yeah.
And
so if you let's jump on the other side of that. So if you are a team that is going to be going up against the Eagles, and you hear the head coach of the Eagles say, "I'm going to dumb down this offense this week," how do you game plan for that?
If I'm Doug?
Now, if you're the 49ers. Doesn't that make game planning for them a little bit easier? It's like, all right, we're going to be seeing what we've seen the past 3 games, and then just a little bit more stale.
I would expect the 49ers to bracket Zach Ertz. I would expect 49ers to really do what they've been doing over the last couple of weeks. Other defenses taking away the deep ball. They've been forcing Carson Wentz to find these other reads. And if you start going back to what other teams have been doing, obviously the league is going to mirror what other teams are doing. So I think if you get the tempo, that's where if you can get the tempo going, you can get the defense off kilter, and they can't get some of their lineups in. You first down after first down. Carson's feeling the rhythm. Like, that's the part where I get confused with Doug Peterson. Is like, how did you not know how did you not realize your quarterback's not in rhythm, and you really didn't get him to be feeling comfortable. We're in week 4 already, dude. 3 weeks of your quarterback not being comfortable. Like, he looked sharp those first 2 drives. Right. We're like, oh man, this is amazing.
No more preseason excuses.
And that's what I was just about to say, is that if you want to even lean on the no preseason thing, Carson and Doug have 4 years together. I don't want to hear that they're out of rhythm. Dude, you got 4 years together. You're going on your 5th year right now. Don't tell me that you don't know how each other think.
Well, hey, we got a 49ers fan up in the chat. Wow, look at this.
Teddy, huh? Okay.
Shout out,
Make sure you're around after the game.
shout out to Teddy in the chat. Paul says, if I was the 49ers, I would look at offensive line and tell my defense to get physical with them as they seem to break easily. I mean, you got Jordan Mailata out there. That's like that's like a cheesesteak waiting to be eaten. Like I mean, he did play decent against Washington. Like he played okay for this limited amount of snaps.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you expecting from Jordan, Ryan?
I mean, it can't be worse than Peters last week. So I mean,
Can't it?
no, it can't be. So
No, but I'm saying, like,
Yeah.
you really think it can't be?
yeah, no. So I mean, I don't have high hopes, but I don't have. I mean, it's already been bad. So I don't know. I'm kind of in the middle.
Mhm.
I mean, it is going to be tough for him on a Sunday night game to get back in his first NFL game. There's definitely different games to get him into, but there's no choice, obviously.
Yeah, the jitters are definitely going to be there for him.
You think when the Mailata experiment finally comes to an end and we have a legit tackle, do you think that he goes back to rugby, or do you think he tries to
He's
go
got
around the NFL?
Yeah, he's got to go back to rugby.
Dude, he was nice.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's you never know, man. Like if you look at Villanueva,
Alejandro Villanueva.
Look where his career went. Like he was like a wide receiver,
defensive end, wasn't he?
No, he was a wide receiver, and then he ended up going. When he came here, he became like a defensive end.
Yeah,
And
that's when he was
then-
at the end.
And then
he became a starting
offensive
tackle.
tackle.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's the craziest shit. Like you
Yeah,
never.
And that is kind of like another thing that I was saying earlier, where like it's not just our drafting, but it's also our development of our players. Like we had Villanueva in our at a time where we also needed a tackle. We had him here, and no one from the Eagles was able to identify his skill set enough to be able to put him in the right position. We end up cutting him, and the Steelers are able to identify they got a solid tackle in him.
Yeah, they actually got T.O. as the highlight of tonight's game.
Really?
Terrell Owens?
For both Philly and San Fran.
Wow.
And they got him out on the bench doing the workout again.
So the game starts in less than 20 minutes.
Yes, sir.
We've had we're on 2 hours and 52 minutes in this stream. We've had a nice little run. You know, want to shout out Mike K for stopping by, and Football Kelly.
Yes.
Shout out to
Alex out in Colorado.
Chefing it up, cooking a cheesesteak for us live. That was great. But Evan, I mean, any words of wisdom for Eagle fans?
My words of wisdom would be let's just stick to our guns, man. We know who Carson Wentz is. If we're all being 100%, he hasn't played up to our expectations this year, but that same quarterback still exists within Carson Wentz. Believe in him. Expect him to do great things because he is a great quarterback. And let's go Birds.
Prime, any words of wisdom for Eagle fans?
Yeah, just like we mentioned earlier, I would like for Wentz to shut us all up. Go out there, play your game. You know what I mean?
It is what it is.
Yeah, you're right. We all do sound depressed.
Yeah, I like.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
We're not a very good football team. We're
Ryan, words of wisdom.
All right. Well, Dallas lost, Giants lost, Washington lost. I guess at the end of the day, if we win, we're in first place in our division. So I guess we're just gonna have to hope for the win, get first place, 1, 2, and 1.
Keep singing. I love.
That is correct.
That's the wildest shit. I mean, you sit here
1-2-1 record.
You see this list, and you're like, what that one that Jeff Fursky put out. One win tonight, and we're in first place.
Yeah.
Is
I don't know if that's good or bad, but
does that change the vibe?
Hell
I mean, it's got to, man.
Dude,
We're pissed. We're pissed.
If we get a win, we're on cloud 9 today, at least for today. I don't care if it's an ugly win. If we get a win, we're gonna be feeling good.
I've been listening to Brandon Graham all week. He's talking about everybody in that locker room is pissed. Okay, go out there and show that shit tonight.
Yeah.
Turn this shit around.
Yep.
I mean, like, no more excuses, for real.
That is correct.
Shout out to the King K family household, because it's about to get real rowdy up there.
I was trying to get those guys on. I was like, Eagle fan, 49er fan. Like what kind of bets are they making? Like, if the Eagles win, you're doing the dishes.
Listen, all I know right now is Tim's winning because he's got the little one dressed up in Eagles gear. So
nice.
Yeah, I mean, the words of wisdom I could give. I just think, if Eagles get some source of like identity, get back to that identity, just find some semblance of it. Like, obviously the guys are injured, but like, we're used to like Eagles football. Like, we have not seen Eagles football offensively. The offense, they've been offensive. The offensive unit has been super offensive. So I think just even seeing Carson Wentz play normal would be a W for us, because it's like, I think we've all been shook to the core after the last couple of weeks and just like, dude, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the conversations we've been having in DMs has been super weird. Like, some of the people don't put that stuff on the timeline, but the conversations that people have been having has been super weird. So you want to see Carson get back. You score in the first drive, you maybe kick a field goal in the second one, 10 points up. That's what we're talking about, like making that defense a little bit, that offense is a little bit more predictable, and then having to pass on us. That's where we want to win. Is there any cap to pay off the rest? I'm with you, DJ. I would put up I'll throw some money in there.
Yeah, but how is the chat feeling? Like that's one direction we really haven't even looked. Are you guys feeling confident about this game, or that pretty much sums it up?
No, I just feel like everybody is. I think everybody is like, just kind of concerned,
Yep.
But at least we got something to look forward to. You know what I mean? Like, again, shout out to the people in the pandemic state. We have some football to watch. Our team is playing primetime.
Got primetime football. That's nice.
No pun intended. Prime. Let's say, Jeff says, hate to say it, Elton to no confidence. Wow. I want to see Jeff back here after pregame.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I don't even want to see Jeff for the rest of the season.
Brian says, not excited, just hope they play okay, not to get blown out. Like, wow. Even if they don't win tonight, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. I'm gonna be literally.
Just playing, Jeff. Just playing.
I'm gonna be like, seriously. Like, if these guys are mad, like Prime was saying, like, and you come out here and lay another egg on primetime television,
yeah,
it'd be rough.
Man, I would have thrown up earlier today if the Cowboys ended up pulling that comeback out, man.
I got the pressure put on me. What's it gonna take for me to get out of this cave? We're 0-2-1. All right, I'm confident about tonight's game, but my brother, of course, already says that if we go 0-7, I'm to shut the cave down for the rest of the year. Wrong. Not the case.
Yeah, no. But you can't have Cowboys fans dictating your life for sure.
Oh no, listen. I
Yeah,
was
but-
trying to go over there and get some reactions after today's game, but of course, again, my brother's in his own world. He says that they're leading into the right direction by week 6. They'll make a turnaround and all that other bullshit. I had to get out of there.
Yeah, but you know what happens after our Eagles win? You show up to your brother's doorstep and say,
Hello, motherfucker.
we'll be in first place, head of NFC East. And we'll be.
We be smoking loud. We be smoking good. You be smoking red. You be smoking shit.
That's what I hope. This is what I'm hoping. Man, it's 8:02. 8:02. Jordan's having confidence. DJ says, "I'll see you later." Putting the child to bed.
Child to bed and pre-cry before the damn DJ.
Bruh. I think I'm good. I think I'm ready to get something to eat before.
Yeah, dude, that's exactly what I was about to say. I'm about to go rip a meal real quick before this game starts.
But everybody in the chat, we hope to see you guys in the the post game pod, which this live stream will be part of the post game pod. So if you want to be on the 4th, you will be on the 4th and John show if you join the podcast after the game. Score predictions, real quick, around the room.
I'm gonna start off with 21-17.
Boom, Evan.
24-17, Niners.
Damn, Evan.
What?
I'm not gonna lie to the people, bro. I don't know what you want from me.
What did you say?
Evan, if it's the other way around, see that foot?
Throw me a freaking bone here.
You just want me to come on and say we're gonna win every game? I don't think we're gonna win this one.
Well, fuck, we got to keep on saying it until we actually do.
Ryan.
I got 27-24 Eagles. Pretty close game, man.
Tight game.
Yeah.
I also had 27-24 Eagles.
Oh, okay. Man. Pretty good.
Evan was just
Evan was just like, hey, I'm starting to feel confident as the game gets closer. And then he's like, fuck this. He's like, curve stop.
Just drop the bomb.
What was the score again, Evan?
My score prediction, 24-17.
49ers, yep.
Okay. All right. We'll see if there's any quick. Oh, we got some scores in the chat. 30-19 Eagles. Okay.
Nope.
Heart says Eagles win 27-21. My head says 49ers win 27-7.
Yeah, with a head looking like that, I can see it.
All right, Jen. So we're just gonna keep it moving. We'll see you guys in the next one, and hopefully see you guys after in the pregame. But we'll see you guys soon, and fly, Eagles, fly.
Yes, sir.